I have some important news for you.
Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
Cayman's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Good morning, Sandy. Happy Thursday.
Hey, morning, Blake. Happy Thursday. Yes.
Yeah. What do you have for us this morning?
All right. So the police have made quite an important arrest over the holidays. This is one of the stories that we would have missed. But there was a several incidents actually, involving serious assaults on individuals. So now they have arrested a West Bay man who's been charged with murder. They say 24-year-old, pretty young guy, was charged. He was arrested on January the 2nd on suspicion of attempted murder in relation to a shooting incident that happened at the Marquee Plaza. I think we actually may have covered this before we went on break. But
I vaguely remember that story, yeah.
Yeah. So he's now been charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm and attempted murder. So reports are that a man was reportedly shot following an altercation at the rear of the Power Supply Bar that Sunday evening on December the 18th. He was transported to the hospital with a private vehicle, treated for very serious injuries. And now this young man who appeared in court yesterday morning, charged with attempted murder, will have to respond to those charges. And he's been remanded in custody until at least Friday, January the 6th, when he will appear in Grand Court and no doubt ask for bail.
Well, do you think that will be granted?
Well, this is one of the ongoing debates, really, about whether or not people are getting bail too easily, and it probably will be granted, sadly. In law, there's a presumption in favor of bail. That's the problem.
Right.
So that's changed legislatively. I think the courts feel like they don't have very much of a choice. Yeah, so pretty much everybody gets bail, except maybe murderers. But yeah, I often see people charged with attempted murder who get bail.
Okay.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the system.
Well, I just see that sometimes that can just allow retaliation and things like that.
Of course.
Yeah.
But, the judges and magistrates, they feel like, we can just put on an ankle monitor and that'll deter people. But it really doesn't. So, in other news, the Cuban nationals continue to arrive in the Cayman Islands in increasing numbers. It's an issue that's impacting not just us, but obviously the United States of America as well. They've had some of the highest numbers in 4 decades from last year. But we had 3 males arrived on Monday. And my understanding is, although CBC has not yet confirmed it, that we had more arriving again on yesterday. So they keep coming in.
I saw the numbers from over the holidays, and it's almost at like 50 now, right? With the 3 yesterday.
Yeah.
Or more.
There's more in total, but during that time, we probably had at least 50 that came in. So they continue to come. So a local company is offering a $10,000 cash reward for the return of their property after on Christmas, the day after Christmas, someone went on a construction site and stole some construction material. So they're going to be joining us this morning on the program. So if you want to get $10,000 cold hard cash, you might want to tune in because you might be able to identify
what was stolen.
It's I don't know the exact material they're going to tell us this morning, but it's some sort of construction material that they use. Yeah. Regional news: the brother of Jamaican politician Michael Phillips was arrested in a $600,000, that's US dollars, drug bust at the Norman Manley Airport on Monday. Phillips, who is vice president of the People's National Party, has distanced himself from his brother and obviously from the arrest. But reports are that his brother, again, had approximately 12 kilos of cocaine, which has an estimated street value of over $300,000 or Jamaican dollars, 92 million. And it was seized during security checks after anomalies were detected in a blue suitcase destined for the United States of America.
Wow.
So pretty crazy. But it's quite a haul. And
it's just wild stuff like that still happens. It's kind of like it's like a movie, the way some of that stuff goes down still. It's wild.
Absolutely. So the Code Group has again gone before the Central Planning Authority seeking permission to build a $12 million hotel on Kunk Point Drive in West Bay after their 2021 application was rejected. So this is down Barker's Beach area, and it's for a resort called Barker's Beach Resort. And they're seeking permission to build a hotel, a restaurant, a pool, cabanas, LPG tanks, and more. And the property presently contains a 2-story apartment building. And the proposal is for a new 5-story building with hotel units and the renovation of the existing 2-story building to a bar and restaurant on the ground floor. So developers have reportedly made some adjustments to their previous application with the hope of getting approval. And it was on the agenda for Wednesday, January the 4th. So we'll see. The last time it was denied, it was refused because the application did not comply with the minimum required setback from the sea or high water mark per the regulations of the development and planning regulations. So it's interesting because, of course, this continues to be an ongoing issue where, people are saying, hey, you got to put those setbacks way back so that you don't have what's happening on 7 Mile Beach continue to happen, where the hotel is literally in the water.
Almost in the water, yeah.
Yeah. So over the holidays, I'm going to touch on this a little bit today. DJ Renato Harris, he's getting ready now to be sentenced on January the 22nd of this month for 2 counts of rape, which he was found guilty of.
Wow.
On December the 9th. Yep. And he's been out enjoying, I guess, his last hurrah, playing dominoes, enjoying the festivities with absolutely no concern. So we've been getting some very, very interesting reports. And in fact, I don't know if you saw this or not, but a local, I guess they're a bar, a club, I don't know, Casa, I think they're located in the Strand. They actually put up a flyer saying that he was going to be DJing at their.
Oh, I lost you.
And then after we called them out on it, because I thought, well, this is crazy. Someone who's.
Oh, I think we're losing you, Sandy, on that. Well, we're going to move on. We'll catch CMR tomorrow morning at 7:20 for Friday headlines. And by the way,
well, they came back and said, "Oops, it's a mistake."
They've been providing exceptional medical care.
They didn't mean to put the post up.
With their team of internationally recognized providers, advanced therapies, procedures, and technology, and the latest in diagnostic testing and evaluation, they proudly empower their patients on their journey to wellness. Next, we have Celebrity Rundown.
I don't know if did my connection just drop? All right, folks. Same thing happened yesterday. Let me have a look at that. We're going to check our logs here. Good morning, everyone. Okay. All right, folks. Good morning to everyone. Let's go ahead and kick off the show. Looks like somehow my connection dropped, but we'll get that sorted out.
Peppermint, sorrel, ginger, beaver grass, or English. Get it ready. Your morning tea just got hotter.
Ooh, honey child.
On the cold, hard truth. Bobo 89.1 and Cayman's #1 talk show are bringing you morning talk like no one else. Monday Rewind, Impact Wednesdays, Caribbean Connections, and much more. Don't miss a beat with what's happening in the local community. Just keep sipping your tea.
What a mess.
Here's your host, live and direct from the Cayman Islands, Sandy Hill.
All right, folks. Good morning, and welcome back to another edition of the Cold Hard Truth. How are you guys doing? Rise and shine. Let me just grab a few links, and we're going to have a special guest coming on here in just a bit this morning. So we're excited to have them on. Don't forget that CUC says that they're on the road to renewables. And what does that mean? Here's a message from them.
Renewables are very important to CUC. The environment's going to benefit, the customers are going to benefit.
It is the future. It's not a matter of if it's coming, it's when.
We can't stop
We do need the change.
Really, really excited to talk about how we're going to get a lot of renewable energy on the grid.
We have been working on bringing renewable energy to Grand Cayman for many years now and produced our integrated resource plan back in 2016.
Looking at how we can most effectively not only get renewable energy, but reduce the CO2 impact of CUC's operations. You hear the comments or the misnomers that CUC is married to diesel, and quite frankly, that there couldn't be anything that's further from the truth. We know that renewable energy is the right thing to do.
There's a lot of value by using renewable energy, battery energy storage within your integrated grid. A lot of time has to be put together to do your research, understand what it is that you're wanting to put out there.
CUC has the ability to lead that transition, right? And be the first for not only Cayman, but the region.
It's going to be so worth it. It's what I come to work for every single day. To know what we're working on is going to set the country up for success. It's going to be a foundational element of the economy.
Bringing the public along with us is one of the key things to make a success out of it.
To make sure that we're doing our part to reach those United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Our team has been equipped, trained, developed. If we get a go-ahead tomorrow, we start.
And I see it in the future, it's not that far away. It could be as little as 5 or 6 years away, where we'll have times of the day where we are 100% renewable.
There you have it. The road to renewable. Yeah, it's coming, it's happening. And so there's certain things that you just can't stop. I'm trying to get a hold of this lady this morning who found somebody's cards and IDs. And unfortunately, the number she gave just isn't working. Oh my gosh. What a thing. We'll see. They're traveling today, so we're urgently trying to get in contact with her. All right. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing? Happy Thursday. This year started off with a big bang already. We got some guests who are going to be joining us in a little bit. And we are very, very pleased to help them hopefully recover some property. And they're gonna sweeten the pot by offering a $10,000 reward should you want to look at the video that they have to see if you can assist them in any way. $10,000 cold hard cash. So if I were you, I'd make sure I'm tuned into the cold hard truth. All right, so good morning to Miss Vernita, who is here with us. We've got Diamond Princess. Good morning, my dear. We also have Carmelie, who is here. Carmelie's in the house. Miss Faith. Good morning, Miss Faith. She says, good morning, beautiful people. Sandy, Blake, and Aaron. By the way, where's Aaron? Is she on vacation still? She probably took some much needed time off. The kids, some kids are back at school and some kids are not. So it depends on what school your kid goes to. I think that some of the government schools were back yesterday. I need to get some hydrocortisone because I have 2 huge bite marks on the back of my leg, kind of closer to my knee. These mosquitoes in Jamaica are next level. I thought Cayman mosquitoes are bad, but geez, on peace. These are much more itchy, I find. Could just be because I got so many bites. So I had to take some oral medication, and I'm trying not to take another one of those, but it's really these last 2 remaining ones that are pretty big. I was feeling it in the back of my leg. I'm like, what kind of supercharged mosquito bit me there? So I think I'm going to try just some hydrocortisone and see, what we can do. So I'm working on a few things for you guys, by the way. Unfortunately, the new year has brought in some old habits for people. And there's a couple of things that remain an issue where supposedly the authorities were going to be working on it. And I'm getting some more details today about one in particular. And once I have some information on that, I will revert back to you guys because I like to get my ducks in a row now. Make sure we have as much detailed information as possible because What a hot mess. If what is being alleged is true, it does cast a cloud of suspicion over the civil servants that are responsible for doing their jobs. My goodness. It's just one of those things, folks, where, Cayman is very small. So a lot of times we will have individuals who are connected to each other, who are family, who sometimes even work within the same departments, although, you should do your best to make sure they're not directly working with each other in terms of especially supervisors and that sort of thing. But, there's a lot of, there's a lot of appearances of conflict, even if they don't exist. And so what I find is sometimes people will make assumptions that something is going on because of the decisions that people are making. And you kind of go, well, why isn't this person acting on it? Oh, because their husband is somehow involved or their sister's involved or whatever. And I think that when you have a family member in particular that's involved in a situation, you really should go out of your way to ensure that you are in no way, shape, or form like beyond arm's length, right? You kick it to the curb and let somebody else deal with it. And so, even sometimes here on this program, I'm a little bit cautious when family members in particular try to use this platform to, get their justice, so to speak, because I don't really get mixed up in their shenanigans. And I think most of them know that already. So they're actually at a disadvantage being related to me and having me be connected to CMR because I'm less likely to help you, unfortunately. If you're family, if you're looking for like consumer assistance and you're the person who's been aggrieved or whatever, because I don't want people to even have the thought that I'm doing this just because this person is somehow related or family to me. Is that ironic? But it is true. And that's exactly what it is, folks. So, it's an unfortunate situation. Lots and lots of cases of people having issues, and I keep telling them, you're able to come on the program and certainly bring your problems to the fore, and we can discuss them and perhaps give you some feedback. Remember the situation with the young lady who was dating the prison officer? That was quite an interesting situation. Didn't know that he was married, got pregnant by him, not once, but twice. Lost the first baby and then had another child by him. I ran into her recently, and it's so interesting to see people in person because these people, I honestly don't know who they are, right? So when they walk up to me and they say, "Hey, Sandy, I'm so-and-so," I'm like, "Oh, okay. Really nice looking young lady. I mean, she, seems really nice and everything. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't the one sleeping with her." So, and she continues to deal with the situation. I thought to myself, oh my God, this is a situation that she's going to have to deal with for the next at least 18 years of her life. Because the baby's still a baby, if not more. And so he remains married because, that's what these men do. And marriage of ultra convenience. He's not going anywhere. And so the wife all of a sudden wants to have a real active role in this child's life. Now that's interesting because on the one hand, I'm all for, the families coming together and co-parenting. That's like the big family word of the 21st century. Let's co-parent. We all want to be like the Kardashians, where we co-parent like experts and you ignore all the bad behavior of your partner for the sake of your kids. Because everybody's about, oh God, let's just co-parent the children. And 1,000%, the children should be your first priority and your first concern. But sometimes people be trying to overstep in an area that really goes beyond co-parenting. So my understanding is that the wife, who only recently found out that her husband has yet another child outside their marriage, because apparently this ain't the first one, and this is not the first situation, is talking about how she wants to take this woman's baby. Now you can imagine how the mother of this child must feel, right? You were in a relationship with a guy for over a year, didn't know he was married. He was hoodwinking you. Maybe he was hoodwinking the wife, although she seems really easy to hoodwink. He's done it multiple times and she turns a blind eye to the situation. And now you've got some woman that you don't even know talking about she wants to take full custody of your child. It's not because you're a bad parent or anything like that. I mean, she is in a minimum wage job, from Jamaica and whatever. And then here's this Caymanian woman talking about she wants to have custody of your child. I would feel quite perturbed about that, to be quite honest. It wouldn't happen under any circumstances if I'm a fit and good mother. And so this situation continues. It's like the gift that keeps giving. And I was thinking to myself, wow, sadly, this is exactly what happens in these situations. And I'm sure it's not because this woman really wants another child to raise. She's got a teenage boy of her own that she should probably be spending some extra time with, because this father is the example that he has in his life of what a man should be doing. And that's problematic, mother, dearest. So her effort should be double downing with her own son to say, this behavior that your father has been engaged in, although I'm putting up with it, is not right. And no sensible woman should be putting up with it. And you shouldn't be out there, having these open relationships without your partner having, number one, knowledge of it, and number two, approval. And that's really where her efforts should be focused. But yet she wants to go after this woman's child. And it seems to me that the motivation behind it is less than genuine. It's more about probably pissing off this other woman and making her life miserable by claiming she's an unfit parent and that you should have full custody just because you have a house and she lives in an apartment and she's trying to make ends meet on minimum wage. What you should do is have your husband actually take care of his child and contribute to the upkeep of the baby. If you were a right thinking woman and you were all about kumbaya and let's have this modern day melting pot of a family situation where we are co-parenting, then your job as the wife of your cheating husband would really and truly be to keep him in check when it comes to, number one, financial support for the child, to make sure that the child doesn't suffer financially because its mother can barely make ends meet. And number two, he does have access, because the court has granted full access, for him to visit and have access to the child anytime that he wants. So apparently he can take the child on weekends, all this kind of stuff. You got to make sure that the child is being well cared for. That's where your effort should be, not trying to upset this woman by claiming that you want to take full custody of her child. Because we know we know that you really don't want to raise this child. And I would be listen, have you guys ever been in a situation as either a stepchild or, you've been in this situation yourself where you're the outside child, right? And you never treated the same. It's hardly ever the case that that these wives really treat you like a person, and they really treat you with respect and proper dignity, because they get upset at the wrong person. So they're going to always take it out on the poor innocent child that had nothing to do with the situation. The child is here because of two consenting adults who don't have no sense, basically. And, a cheating father and a mother who was less than bright about not picking up on the signs of what this man was doing. And then all of a sudden the kid is here, and the kid is the one who is going to have to, unfortunately, suffer for the situation. It's really, really, really concerning. So comment coming in about the situation. This person says, good morning. The dummy Caymanian wife is trying to stop contact between the mother and her waste man, imported husband, insecure. Yeah. And I think that, again, the way that she's going about it is concerning, because she's trying to act as though she wants to be stepmom of the century, when in fact she is like the wicked stepmother from the East. Or was she from the West? I don't even know. But you guys know what I mean. So, yeah, it's definitely concerning. I would have concerns as the parent, and I really just ask for people to step back a moment. And if you're really all about the best interest of the child, then, take your time and ease into the situation. Because Lord knows it ain't easy. Good morning, Maria. How are you? Wee Wee's got it locked. We've got Aliano in the house. Chantel, Olivia, Miss Jessica's here. Sanya, beautiful Sanya's in the house. Jackie, another Maria. Is that another Maria? Yes, we've got two Marias in the house this morning. Omiria is here. She says, pleasant good morning, everyone. And their beautiful 3 Cayman Islands. KK wants to know $10,000 for what? Soon come, honey, chill. Steven says, hey, beautiful people. Stephen, I've been seeing your happiness over the holidays. Congratulations. He's been living his best life. Seeing those social media photos. I see you, boy. I see you. Good morning to Miss Morna. Miss Sonia says the screen is fuzzy. Is it? Oh, Lord have mercy. We can refresh it. Give me a quick second here. Karen joining us from the UK this morning. Let me do a quick refresh. There's a song that was playing at the, we were coming from Jamaica, that I need to get a copy of. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out the name of the song. I'm going to tell you what the lyric says, and I don't know who sings it. But it says, come back to your island. That's like the theme. And I couldn't get much more of it. I'm sorry. But does anybody know who sings that song? It's a local song, obviously. I need to find out who sings that song. I need a copy of it. All right, Perla, buenos dias. We got Aliano in the house. Aliano says, please, Miss Sandy, modern day women are an oxymoron. They want good men, but lay down for dogs. Yes, sir. So why be a good man anymore? Hashtag 2023, not no to hoes. Oh, that's a little bit harsh. You know, I mean, I don't know if her set of if her story is to be believed. And I've seen it happen before. These men are very good, Aliano, at hiding their true situation. So I wouldn't necessarily call this woman a hoe just because she got involved in a situation with a lying man. And you know what? It's so amazing. But one of the things that these men do that is a bit of a hoodwinking situation is they will take you out in public. They will take you to parties and events and whatever. So you think, oh, well, there's no way in hell that this man is in a committed relationship with anybody other than me, because he wouldn't have me parading in public and his coworkers wouldn't see me at these parties. Like he would legit be trying to hide you, you know? And so that gives you a degree of comfort and you're more likely to believe him. Girlfriends, triple check and double check. So Alejandro says narcs cheat freely. What's a narc? I always hear narcs in terms of narcotics, but obviously you mean something else here. But yes, they're cheating in their best form ever. They'd be all over the place cheating. Got a girlfriend in Jamaica, one in Honduras, one in Miami, one in Nigeria. They'd be all over the place. And they really have no concern. Morning, Miss Irvelin. Bonnie's in the house. She says, I'm listening. Natasha. So I'm trying to get Miss, oh gosh, Miss Marjorie here. Miss Marjorie, I'm trying to get to you today with your radio so that we can get you sorted out so you can listen to the show at any time. Because I know some of y'all have an issue getting, you might not have social media or you do have it, but you can't always listen. So we got some little radios that we found on Amazon, honey Jill, because y'all know I love me on Amazon. They got everything over there. And so Miss Marjorie had asked if she could buy one. I said, no, Miss Marjorie, we will just give you a radio. Natasha, good morning. How are you? Zambula Way says, every one of them, wife or gal, I get bare bun. Prison officers, police, and portman, etc. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter where they work, to be honest. They just seem to be into the, you know, they can just do what they're going to do. I know professionals, lawyers and doctors and everybody else who's out there in the streets cheating too. And some of them are just as, their situation is just as messy as the prison officers. So just because they are a so-called society person doesn't mean anything, my dear child. KK says he probably have to listen to his wife. So that was the option the wife chose and have to go with it or else. Well, it's so funny because now he has to listen to her. I mean, he didn't have any respect for the wife out in these streets, honey. So now all of a sudden you're going to let the wife take control and you're going to listen to her for all of 6 months probably. And then he'll be on to the next woman. You know how these situations go. But I would encourage the women in particular to don't let these men, you guys hold rank with each other, you know, because we're women and men, child, all I can tell you is they kind of different sometimes. But don't let these men hold rank against you and play you both as fools. You know, you need to step up to the plate, like I said, do what's in the best interest of the child. And, you know, just kind of ease yourself into the situation. But don't be believing your lying husband all of a sudden, because he's been lying. He's proven himself to be a liar and a cheater. And so, you know, he shouldn't be at the top of your list when it comes to someone whose word is dependable. That's all I'm saying, you know. Perla says one Cayman woman should not get with a married man. 2, married man should not cheat while married. 3, no child should be in the picture. Leave married man alone. So this isn't a Cayman woman, first of all. But I guess it shouldn't matter where the person's from. But just to be clear, this has nothing to do with nationalities, folks. It happens. And unfortunately, it happens to the best of us. Number 2, married men should not cheat. Yep. In an ideal world, that would be fantastic. But there's a lot of people out there who cheat. And you know what, Miss Dorothy, good morning. There's some people who actually have open relationships, but they're not man or woman enough to just tell the world that they're in an open relationship. There are literally some wives who don't mind, and there's some husbands who don't mind. Like maybe they don't have the energy to satisfy their spouse in the marriage, and they're just like, yeah, just leave me alone and go get somebody else. And they're happy with that situation, which is interesting. And the wife either really knows about it or she doesn't care. And it's only when it becomes a thing, like other people find out because a baby's involved or something like that, that all of a sudden she then pretends like she cares. Because I've heard of a lot of situations, even this situation, there are question marks about the legitimacy of this wedding, because people are like, yeah, you know, she's out there doing her thing. She got man too. And some of them got man and woman on the side, you know? And so that's why they don't care what the spouse is doing, because they're out there busy in the streets as well. And you know what? I'm not here to judge that situation. If you have an open relationship, I actually don't care. What I think is bothersome is when the parties are involved don't know. So even if you're in an open relationship and you're engaging with a third person, but you haven't bothered to tell them, oh yeah, I'm in an open marriage, but here are the ground rules, because normally these people have rules. So you can go out there and dip your little stick in any Milo you want. But at the end of the day, you're still coming home. You're never going to divorce this woman because you need her to remain in Cayman for your little status badge. And you got your 1 or 2 little anchor babies and you ain't going nowhere. But once you start engaging in a relationship with third parties, you know, especially women, they have high hopes that you're going to be leaving your wife for them. And you're going to be giving them the house and the car and a good life and whatever. Remember now he was buying her or renting her apartment close to his workplace. So she probably thought he was rolling in money. So, you know, at the end of the day, these are the things that be happening going on in these streets, honey. And when someone has an unrealistic expectation of what's happening, I think that that's when, unfortunately, it becomes really, really problematic. So listen, we're waiting on our guest. I'm going to just tell him ready. And you are. Yep, he's going to jump in at any time and tell us what's going on and how you can potentially win $10,000. Perla says, that this is quite interesting. Perla says that men are just con artists and very good at it. And I don't want to necessarily make this about the sexes, because I'm aware that women also cheat. And although I think more men cheat than women, and I think men and women tend to cheat for very different reasons. Like women tend to cheat for emotional reasons. So sometimes women will have emotional relationships with coworkers and other people. It's not physical in any way, but they're getting attached emotionally to other men. or women in this day and age. Might as well be all inclusive. So, there's an emotional attachment, and they're, chatting with them and spending time with them that they could be spending with their spouse, but it doesn't necessarily become physical. So I think for a lot of women that can happen if they're not, for whatever reason, being satisfied emotionally by their relationship. So I think both men and women are equally capable of cheating. And women are probably, maybe in some respects, a little bit better at keeping it, on the down low. Because now think about it. If a woman gets pregnant, she can just claim that it's for the husband. I guess if they've been having some sort of relations, he might be like, okay. But anyway, KK says that married men are brave. Especially here in Cayman where it's so small. Alejandro says he thinks that women are more likely to cheat. I don't know that that's correct, Alejandro. I'll have to look it up, to be honest. But I kind of think that men are more likely to cheat. We can look it up. Let's see. Women are more likely to cheat than men, and here's why. Oh, damn. I'm sorry. According to a New York Post article, and I will, again, bow to the so-called experts, women are actually more likely to cheat than men. And it says that science is finding that women struggle more than men when it comes to staying faithful in relationships. Snaps. Yes, there's a growing body of research that apparently we need to be looking at, Alejandro. Wink, wink. Woo, woosa. We better have a whole show on this. Let's circle back. Give me an opportunity to digest this. It talks about the reasons why women cheat. Like I said, women normally looking for something more on the emotional side. But I mean, there's just lustfulness too, honey chill. It is what it is. Let's double back on this. We'll talk about it another day because I feel like this is a whole conversation. Aliano says hose goes both ways, men and women alike. And as small as Grand Cayman is, nothing stays in the shadows. Yes, sir. Jonathan says women tend to lie more than men. Y'all coming out hard against us this morning. Just that men get caught up in the lie and women know how to stretch the lie. Alejandro says narcissist. Sorry. Yes, sir. Perla says you really want to know why women cheat? Because of your neglect. Rejection, lack of attention, no quality time. Whoa. So if you're the type with no time for your wife, well, we may seek what we don't get at home. So don't point fingers. No, sir. Johan's in the house here. Johan, is bun the topic? Nobody doing any work this morning? All right, let me wrap up a few comments and then our guest is he's getting himself situated. Alejandro says men can cheat on a woman and love them, but a woman will cheat and not even consider the relationship. Say what? So a man can cheat on a woman and love them, but a woman will cheat and not even consider. It's a grudge game? I don't know, Alejandro. We're going to have to make a show about this, but we'll do a bun special show. Perla's here for the conversation. Perla, I will let you know the day that we're going to go deep on this one because obviously y'all have some thoughts about it. Even Dave weighs in. First of all, Perla says, thank God she's single. Dave says some women don't want a single man. Only woman you have a woman that give you the time of day. Oh, only like when you have a woman. Okay. Women always envious towards other women. It's like a competition to some women. Interesting, Dave. And I have seen that too. Yes. Yeah, they don't want a single man. KK says she's done with this conversation. So interesting. Sharon weighs in, says that men lie more. They don't know how to do it with a straight face like us women. Oh, geez, I'm peace. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah, Jonathan says women are cheating more than men. What mess. All right. Well, there you go. I stand to be corrected. But Michael says gifts, you mean remuneration that makes her a whole end of, and then I don't know what happens there. All right. Kamaria, a man tends to cheat because it's just the norm for them. When a woman cheats, it's emotionally aided. No, sir. Y'all are getting deep here. All right, Miss Etta. She says that, hi, good morning, Sandy. Married are bad luck. This is what my grandmother told me growing up. I will never even think of going out with someone's husband, Sandy. Many blessings, happy. Yes, okay. All right. Well, let's move on. Kimaria and Miss Etta and others, Alejandro, Jonathan, we'll come back to this conversation one day because clearly we need to bring in an expert, a relationship expert, to talk about some of this stuff. Glenda says we have our adventure in life. We commit mistakes along the way and experience failures, and it's okay. Learn something from the failures and keep on going. So she's like, don't let that cheating scandal stop you. Get back on that horse and keep on riding into the sunset. Good morning to the beautiful Barbara. All right, so let's talk about a situation. Lately we've been having some robberies and thieveries and so on going around the place. Jonathan says to call Andrew Tate. I think he's in custody now and all his luxury vehicles have been confiscated, honey child. But yes, let's move on. $10,000 could be yours if you know what's going on in the streets or if you can identify some individuals. So let's watch the video first, and then we're going to have our guests fill us in on what is going on. Now, let me caution you, because anytime there's money, especially on the line, I always get people who think that they know who, oh yeah, that look like my brother, look very, very closely. Look at the mannerisms, look at the outfits, look at who these culprits might be. Don't be trying to throw your brother under the bus because you're pissed off that he never got you anything for Christmas and you could do a $10,000. But somebody has to know these individuals. Have a look at this video. All right. We got Paul in the house. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Paul is with Davenport. Paul, this is most unfortunate. So tell us exactly what is going on in that video that we're watching. We got two thieves on the loose.
We have two thieves on the loose who broke into our Bahia site, which is in between Vela and Arvia. So it's in between Vela and Hurley's Roundabout on South Sound Road. And it was the wee hours of the morning. And they basically broke into one container. We have maybe 20 containers, with material and with equipment and so on and so forth. And they broke into one very targeted container, which was the electrical material container. So whether they had an order for this material or, it's valuable stuff. It was the value of the material that they stole was $75,000. So we're not talking about
what's the material? What is it?
It's breakers. The breakers that you put in your house that trip when the electrical machine, the washing machine goes out or whatever. It's breakers, which are $46 each. So there's 300 and some of them. There was 90 rolls of wire, which for you to thief and go away with 90 rolls of wire, you had to have a big truck. You wouldn't put it on a pickup truck or the boot of even a Ford Explorer or something. So they obviously had a truck which they parked out of the way, out of sight of the cameras. So they either scoped the site first or They knew the site.
Yeah. That was my first thought. I must tell you that construction materials can be a bit tricky because you either have a buyer or you're at your own construction site, because it's not like you can just, unload that quite as easily as some other types of things that you may steal. So
sure, it's not like it was 24 dozen or 24 cakes or something like that.
Yeah, right. So I thought, this could be an inside job. This is somebody who's connected to the, maybe one of the workers or somebody who, kind of knows what's going on the location. So a big truck, how long, do you have any idea how long it took them to move the material? It was two of them.
This was it was less than an hour,
Oh, wow.
But it was the middle of the night. And our problem is everybody was gone for Christmas, and we closed our sites down on Christmas because people work their butts off throughout the year, and they work 6 days a week for the most part. And sometimes they work into the evening, and sometimes they have to pour concrete, very early in the morning. So they work hard. So we closed our sites. Normally the Friday before Christmas. In this case, it was the 22nd that we closed, and we didn't reopen until the 3rd, Tuesday, just today's Thursday, 2 days ago. Yeah. So they had plenty of opportunity to to do it. We don't have security because this has never happened. We've had one break-in before they stole roof tiles, so that was clearly they had an order. But I'm talking on San Sebastian days, on phase 1 of San Sebastian. So you're talking 10 years ago, So we didn't feel as though we needed security, or certainly not 24-hour security, especially having the cameras. Now, if your viewers would be so kind as to look, I think I gave you 2 videos. I hope you can put both of them up on your site. That guy who was trying to move the camera, he has very distinct eyebrows. If they, I think I sent you some still shots. Maybe you could put them up too. Very distinct eyebrows. He has a shell. He has cornrows in his. We're assuming that he has cornrows in part or all of his hair, because the shell at the end of the cornrow is peeking out of his hood. His face hood that he's trying to hide. But of course, he had to look up into the camera to move the camera, I suppose.
Right.
So again, the very distinct eyebrows, the very distinct hairstyle that he didn't hide properly. He also, in one of the videos, obviously not in that one, in the other one, he called to his friend. One of them called to the friend 3 times, like Rayal or Rayad or Raymond or something like that. You can't really get it, but if you knew them, you would get it. If you knew who it was, you would get it. And you would probably get that's Mark and Raymond or whoever. So and we are offering a $10,000 reward. We do it probably either through your several Crime Stoppers, and this is for evidence that for their arrest, and conviction that they actually got, that they were the ones who did it. I don't believe, Ken doesn't believe that we'll actually get the equipment, the material back. We might. That's a whole other issue, and that's not why we're doing this. We're doing this to show the community that this kind of thing shouldn't happen,
Well, let's look at some of the photos here. Of course, everybody is weighing in. Michael says these guys knew what was in there for them to go.
They have to.
To a container. So everybody sorts of, all of our sleuth or all of our detectives, amateur detectives in the show said this looks like an inside job. Melissa says notify Cash Whiz because of Power Tools. Well, this actually isn't Power Tools. So Cash Whiz would not be the intended client here. This is someone who's either sending a container off island, which I want to talk about here in a second, when Paul is probably no longer in the show, because this is a big concern about these containers that leave Cayman and nobody knows what's in the containers. Or they have a job site themselves that they're working on. Because you can't just walk up. I mean, tell me a little bit about the construction industry here and correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't just walk up to, a job site and to construction developers and say, oh, I've got a container full of XYZ that I want to sell you. And most developers are not going to jump on that. Am I right, Paul? Because they would have to know that those are hot goods.
Well, we would know straight away, and that has happened to us. It hasn't happened, I would have to say, in this is pre-COVID. So since COVID, and there's a boom on in COVID, for construction workers and stuff. So it hasn't happened in a number of years. The last time was the hospital getting built, and we got approached to buy the same thing, electrical wire. And Ken immediately called Gene Thompson and said, we got approached, blah, 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 you have a problem, So no, everybody knows, but my managers know, don't even think about it and actually report it, But generally it's this kind of thing of Johnny on the work site came up to me and said that his friend has 50 rolls of electrical wire to be sold. Do we want to buy it? So it's like an intermediary type of thing. And then when you go and approach Johnny, who's his friend, and ask who his friend is, of course you might as well, break his fingers, but he's not going to tell you. So, so yeah, you're absolutely correct, Sandy. It is. We have no doubt that it's somebody who either has their own construction site, who works on our job site, or who has worked on our job site, and who might not necessarily be an electrician either, because if you're all the kind of materials are in one area. So if you need some paint, or you need some sheetrock mud or some sheetrock, you go over to the office that's in the middle of all the containers and you say, I'm working on building number X, and can I please get 24 sheets of sheetrock? Meanwhile, you could be looking into the electrical container while the chap is getting 24 sheets of sheetrock for you. So, it's unfortunate. We were too trusting, and you have to put in a fence around these containers, and then you have to be outside the fence, and you have to call the guy out, and then he gets you whatever you need and brings it out, and da. But it just, that's extra more laborious, and we haven't needed to do it. And we're just extremely, it's an awful way to start the new year. I tell you that for nothing.
Yeah, for real. All right, so we're going to play the video again. Let's have a look at some of the comments that are coming in. So Johan says, for $10,000, I'm not going to lie, kind of looks like Luigi, Julian, and Bree, so give me my money. Johan is such an idiot.
He used to be at work.
I know, right? Johan, get to work. So he says, if it wasn't them, it looks like an inside job. They knew what they were looking for. Michael says, these guys smile at you every single day, sir. Thinking it's an inside job. Sharon says, what company is this? So this is the Davenport location. Tell us again the exact job site.
Davenport Development, and it's Bahia, Bahia. And it's where Rennie Hislop, we bought the land off Rennie Hislop, if anybody wants to know that. And then just past Cayman Crossings.
Cayman Crossings, which is South Sound?
Near the top of South Sound. Yeah. Okay. So you could walk from Bahia to Hurley's.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I think I know exactly where it is. Yeah.
It's in between Bel Air and Oakview Roads. Kind of nearly kitty corner to Bel Air. Nearly on the corner of Bel Air.
Yeah. So most people are going with, it's probably an inside job. Jonathan says he thought he heard the guy say Mark in the video. So we'll watch the video. We've got two videos again. And Bonnie says, check the containers leaving the port. Most definitely. Dacia says, well, if I knew who they were, my account would be $10,000 fatter this afternoon.
Good.
And so somebody knows who they are. So let's look at a few photos. First and foremost, let me just pull up the photos, the still photos taken from the camera, and then we'll have a look. So this one is just his hand. That's not really the best one to look at, but I'll show you some more here in a second. So we've got this one, which is a little bit harder to see on screen, but then we zoom in a little bit. Let me take this comment off screen. So you see that he has his hair braided in some sort of a braid. So that's number one. If you know anybody in your circle that has braided hair, I mean, you can start to eliminate people. Browner complexion. So Johan, your people might be a little bit too fair skinned, so we're going to eliminate them from now. Definitely a male. Again, Paul talks about the distinctive eyebrows. This is not a man who grooms his eyebrows. These are natural bushy eyebrows. So do have a look at the eyebrows, the complexion of the skin, the hair peeking out under the hoodie. And, one of his eyes is kind of peeking out right there as well. So let's have a look at another photo. Let's see this one. Yep, that's just a closer shot of that same one where they've zoomed in a little bit. So
and
yeah,
you can see the shell, and that's the shell sticking out of under his hoodie.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So some sort of braiding and twisting of the hair, and it looks like it might have some what do you call those things? The little beads or whatever that they put on here as well. Yeah. So that's him. One of the two. Let's watch the video again. Now, the first video I got, I didn't. It wasn't really the best video. I thought the one I played just now was better. But let's watch them both because you guys might pick up on something. Regardless, that one's actually giving an error message. I'll see if I can pull it in. Hold on one second here. Let me try to pull it in this way. But somebody recognizes these guys, I'm sure of it. So here's the first one. So this is the little thief trying to tamper with the camera. Now these guys are so stupid because they don't know that a lot of these cameras actually they're being captured in the cloud. So even if you tamper with the physical camera, that's not going to do any good because it's already been captured in the cloud with the audio and everything else. They're not the brightest, but anyway. Let me just see here. Yeah, so it kind of trips out there a little bit, I think, because he was messing with it. So that's the first video footage. Let's move on to the second one now so that we can see the other fella. By the way, let me just pause that 1 second. I noticed that he is wearing shorts. So again, these are all going to be clues for you guys to maybe figure out who these individuals are. So this one is wearing, it looks like jean shorts and some sort of a black hoodie. Pay attention to the shoes. He's carrying, is that a cutter? What's the proper name for that, Paul? Oh, sorry, you've muted yourself, I think. Just hit that unmute button there.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
A bolt cutter. It hit
bolt cutter.
Lots and bolts. Yeah.
Yeah. So he showed up ready for the job too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So they were prepared. He's wearing some sort of shoes, maybe tennis shoes. It's kind of hard to see, but no socks. It doesn't look like. This is now Walker's friend. How did the friend crawl up? Did they come with a ladder? What was he crawling up on to get to the camera?
I guess he could have been crawling up on any. There's a big bundle of material behind him, so he could have been crawling up on anything, pulled something across, you know.
Yeah, and he's got some arm hair. You know, not all men have hair on their arms, and you did see some fuzzy hair there. So again, these are all going to be clues. If you need to look at your boyfriend's clothing and his arm hair today, have a look and see if it could be him and his friend. And he's got on some gray looking gloves. Yes. And his friend looks like he's the watchman. He's keeping an eye out, walking around the property. So there's where he says, he does call out his name.
Yeah.
quite make out what he after somebody, and then his friend starts walking over. So he obviously called his name. If we could get that enhanced and find out that name that he called, this would be solved. Yep, his friend walks over. Were they ever able to disable the cameras, or he just gave up after that?
No, I think he just gave up after that.
So, you know, Paul, this is really, really sad that it's come to this. But, you know, I know you said that you're not necessarily concerned about getting the material back, but really and truly, this is about trying to send a message to would-be thieves that if you are engaging in this type of behavior, the construction industry in particular is not going to support or tolerate this. And, you know, they want you found and they want you prosecuted.
Absolutely. 100%.
It has a real impact on your business.
It does, because also a lot of this stuff, like 350, like 90 rolls of wire and 350 breakers, JB suppliers, the industrial park, they're not going to have that amount of stuff for us to just turn around and replace. Even if, you know, we wanted to just take out $75,000 out of our pockets and replace them tomorrow, they would have to order them. We all know about the supply chain issues. You know, it's not like we can get them in next Tuesday. So you're right. It has a huge impact on the business above and beyond the $75,000 in raw material.
Yeah. So Quality Farming says there should be street cameras somewhere in that area that can see the vehicle leaving. Cadian says,
well, we did ask. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. We did ask the police to check the CCTV on that area, because there's CCTVs all around Hurley's and Walker's Road. So you have to come from Walker's Road, or you have to come from Hurley's. You know?
Only two routes really.
And hopefully they came from Hurley's. And how many trucks is on the road then?
Yeah, it takes time, because the police mentioned even at their last press briefing that they have hundreds and hundreds of hours for the last robberies of video. You know, a lot of people are like, why aren't they arresting anybody? It takes time to go through all that footage, is why. It's not as easy as you think. So now they've had to add this, obviously, to the list. But Cadian says, ladies, look at this. Someone must know your man's bodies and the clothes too. Sandra says he might have gotten trimmed and groomed by now. So barbers, if someone ran in to get a trim all of a sudden, or, you know, maybe they're running now to get a trim. Barbershops, call us. I do have someone who just messaged me a name, Paul, so I'll send you that name of who they think.
Yes,
And Jonathan says he got them girly beads in his hair. So Moya says that is a single braid, not cornrows. Okay. We're going to put this puzzle together one way or the other. Life in the Traffic says now the barbershop has to watch out for the one that will get his braids cut off. Or he might just do it himself. Who knows? And check all the barbershops. I'm sure you'll be getting a haircut sometime soon. Stacy says, I'm trying to hear the voice on video. Yeah, I'm actually gonna I'm gonna send it to one of my video guys and see if they can enhance it, because you know,
that would be awesome.
Yeah, if you have the right equipment, you can definitely probably figure out what they're saying. I'm gonna send it to a guy that I know. I know a guy.
Oh, he has a backpack.
We potentially have a lead for you already in terms of, oh, this one sounds good. I'm gonna send this right now to my little video guy, because he's got all the professional audio and video. He's a voiceover guy, so he's got all the professional equipment. Was it the second video that he did that in? I think it was, yeah.
The second video you just played now, where you can kind of see his hair, his head and eyebrows.
Yes, and I get to the people with the pro equipment, honey chill. All right, so he has a backpack. Would be good to zoom in that. Thank you, Miss Judy. Jonathan says this is the video that he says the name. Yes, and he says it like 3 times. Does he?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Oh, let's listen again. Let's listen again. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Jonathan, you need to go work for the RCMPS instead of smoking pot all day. Because honestly, I didn't even hear it 3 times until you said that. And then I went back and listened, and sure enough, you got some good ears, son. He does say it 3 times. So Real Deal says check the containers headed for Jamaica. Many instances, CBC has taken possession of the tools or equipment that shippers don't have paper documentation. So again, Life in the Tropics is asking what they took. So for people who might be joining us a little bit late, let's just recap the details. We're looking for someone on December 26th. What time of the morning was this, Paul? It was at 1:50 a.m.?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And they took an entire container. So they pried open the container with those wire cutters or the bolt cutter that he has there, and they unloaded all the material out of the container.
And it was $75,000. It's basically breakers, and it's that the wire that has like 3 wires in it, and then has a metal casing around it. And they took 90 rolls of them. I mean, they weigh a ton, and they had to have taken their time and had a big vanish, big truckish to get that stuff into.
So people are saying that it sounds like he's saying Mark.
Oh.
Interesting.
Or maybe your guy can help.
Yeah. And Judy says, sounds like our very own. Well, Judy, the truth of the matter is, let's be very, very clear. I know we want to be blaming everybody for our problems, but the police have said, as it relates to the more recent robberies, they're 1,000% certain that 99.9% of them are Caymanians. And we're not talking about, a Johnny come lately Caymanian trying to have a Caymanian accent. These are born and bred our own bad seeds. So I wouldn't be surprised that they are one of our own, so to speak. Although I'm not claiming them, because I don't claim no thief. I don't care where you're from. Aliano says, well, construction site island-wide needs to be on the lookout. And this is really, really sad, because I've even had, I think I've mentioned this before. I had a plumber. There's a guy that I use for my plumbing needs. Really awesome guy. He's from Jamaica. He's reasonable. He comes, and any sort of little plumbing thing that I need done around the place, he's on it. And he was working at a Frank Hall development that's not that far from us a number of years ago. And he had to come to us and say, hey, I know you guys have a lot of cameras around the place. Did your camera happen to pick up anything on this particular date? Because someone went and stole his, I think it was like a pump or something from the job site. So this type of theft is really, really detrimental. We're all complaining already about the skyrocketing cost of construction and building materials and all this sort of stuff. And, a lot of these laborers and workers don't have the money to easily replace their equipment. So this is something that impacts people's livelihood. And it could very well impact the cost of a project if, this continues to happen. So how is the material packaged? Are they in boxes, or what does it look like?
The breakers would be in boxes, and the wire is on rolls. Like, when you see those big rolls with like big plastic spools, let's call them. Imagine a roll of thread, except multiply that by 1,000. And
I really hope that no other construction site would buy this material. Like, if somebody comes to you and, come on now, they're trying to offload material quickly and probably undervalue it because they just want to get, this is like almost $80,000 worth of equipment. They'll take even probably $25,000 for it, because that's $25,000 that they never had to work for. So if you've got someone locally trying to sell you equipment and material on the cheap, you need to call the police, just dial 911, or message CMR, because some of y'all feel safer just messaging me than calling the police. Ms. Darlene says, give CMR the job and consider it solved. Give CMR the reward. No, we're good. We're good. But, people will come forward for reward money. Listen, a lot of people don't know this, but there was an assault. I think it was last year. Well, definitely last year, because it's a new year, but it might have even been late the year before, of 2 men at the Strand. And once a reward, again, $10,000 reward, was offered by a private citizen, all of a sudden we had an eyewitness to the actual assault who caught it on video. And can I tell you guys that the police to this day have made one arrest, and it is a direct result of that video footage that they were able to arrest the one guy. And I don't think he's giving up who his who his accomplice would be, but at least they got one that's going to go down for what was essentially a hate crime. So people, the young lady, she's not eligible for the money, but she still came forward as a result of the award being offered. So $10,000 can clear off some debt. It can help you take care of your mom. You can put it in your savings account. You can do anything you want with it. So if you know who these people are, step forward, folks. It's the right thing to do. We're here doing the right thing, and we don't need any money, right? It's the right thing to do regardless. But I suppose $10,000 will sweeten the pot for someone that needs that little extra motivation to do the right thing. So Sandra says, and maybe you can address this while you're here, Paul. She says, these are kind of people permits bring to the island. Davenport doesn't hire Caymanians.
Well, that's it. That's simply not true. So yes, everybody knows that. All of our companies stress to hire Caymanians as much as possible.
Now,
there's certain skills that, like our electricians, we have 1, 2, 3 Caymanians, and we have 5 or 6 people on permits. Every time we put an ad in, we have people on apprenticeships, Caymanians obviously, on apprenticeships. We have people from the prison on work placement, and then hopefully they get to keep the job when they finish their work placement type of thing. So that people say that all the time, but it's
and to be very clear, folks, Paul has been on the program before, and funny enough, Paul is the only construction sort of industry, I guess, manager who's been on this program. He's always been very, very forthright with us. And speaking of Caymanians, you guys will remember he was here when we were talking about another Caymanian who was not paying his workers. And Paul said, no. Because, obviously they hire other companies to do the work, right? So they'll hire an electrical company, a plumbing company, whatever. Davenport is just the developers of the entire project. And when he found out, he said very, very plainly, we don't support companies who abuse, mistreat, or don't pay their workers. Like, they take a position that if you want to do business with them, then you need to make sure that as a, plumbing company, as the company that does the pools, whatever, you need to be on the right side of the law and treat your workers within the parameters of the law. So, Sandy, you might have missed that program, but I just want to remind you that Paul has been on the program before, and he's made it very, very clear that Davenport does not want to be in the business of supporting other construction industry companies who feel like they can take advantage of people. And normally those are the people who are hiring a lot of foreign workers, because then they think, they're not going to complain, etc., if they don't get paid.
True. That's true. And we also insist, Andy, that they have health insurance, and we want to see the receipts for the health insurance. And now we're back to paying pension. We want to see the receipts for them paying pension for their guys too. So, and they have to have public liability insurance in case one of their guys falls down on the job that they were, that as in an accident or whatever, which we have public liability insurance too. So yeah, we're as good a corporate citizen as we can be. Yes. Probably better than most.
Yeah. So Amanda says, Mark, he said it clearly the last time. Stacy says, I heard Mario or Mark. So we're that much closer. Ethel says, well planned. They seem too comfortable and casual. Not a care in the world, huh? Well, they got a care after this morning. I can bet you that. Good morning, Venice. Cadian says, I don't think it's on a container. Guys, be smart. It's very hot. It's going to be used on the island. Well, either way, I do think that they're very, very stupid for doing this, because I suspect, as with most of these cases, this will be solved by the end of the program today. And speaking of solving, we have a pretty good track record. I noticed someone said the other day, someone found a bank card. They're like, why don't you just take it to the police? And there's a comment that, why do that when Sandy seems to have an amazing knack, or this platform because we reach so many people, have an amazing knack for actually finding the rightful owner. So I am happy this morning to give you all an update. I'm going to take out the person's number out of this one because I don't want to share their phone number. But there was a drone that went missing some days ago, and we have received a message just this morning at 6:36 that someone has found the drone. Look at that, folks.
Excellent.
Yes, there's a lot of good, honest people around the place. And so this person is going to be so happy. Look at that. This person says, hey, Sandy, we found the drone. Have them contact us. Fantastic. So that's one more mystery that has been solved. So, drones can be pretty expensive and stuff as well. So that person will be super happy. So good morning. Michael says there are a few Caymanians on this developer site, to be honest.
I've answered that. So
yeah, Marshall says there's a mix of thieves going around stealing from people, stores, and people properties. Yes. Did I tell you all that? I think we put the story on the website, but because the show wasn't a break, Jamaica has actually increased their, because again, they're facing robberies and serious crimes and all sorts of stuff, but they've increased the minimum sentence for gun possession to 15 years. If a firearm is used in the commission of an offense, you're going to get minimum 15 years and up to, I think it's 25 or 30 years. So from the penalty side, and, I was listening to a message from the Prime Minister who made it very, very clear that in a lot of instances, somebody knows these young men. And this is the same thing that the Prime Minister was knowing, is people know who's committing the crimes. And so it is incumbent on the community, to members of the community, to step forward and assist the authorities, because you can't be compliant or complacent with this type of activity, because it really just tears down our entire community. And a lot of the same people who want to complain about crime are the ones who are harboring the criminals, right? They know who the drug runners are. They know who the robbers are, because it's their nephews or, their own children, and they're harboring them, they're cloaking them up. And folks, you got to really take a position of zero tolerance towards criminality and breaching the law. So Carol says, have just advised my company, which is Brit Hay Electric, that this has happened in case anyone approaches us to buy breakers or wires. So thank you, Carol. And yes, that's a great idea to spread the word as it relates to, who this could, that someone's out there potentially trying to offload this material on island. So if everybody knows that, hey, this material is hot, nobody wants it, then what are these guys going to do? Just sit on the material forever? Well, they may have no choice now. They might be caught red-handed with it because nobody's going to touch it. So spread the word. Thank you, Miss Carol, for Brit Hay.
Thank you, Miss Carol.
Tamika says Davenport is a fair hiring company. They're one of the best. Paul's a very nice person, and whoever took their stuff, please return it. Amanda says all construction companies have liability insurance, so that's nothing different, as you're obligated to. I don't know, Amanda. I think she was addressing when you said the union worker companies have insurance, but a lot of them do not pay. I'm not talking about liability insurance. They're not paying health insurance for their guys. So that might have been what Paul was speaking to.
Yes,
the whole situation about that, Amanda. Perla says this is very sad to steal, but what they need it for to build their home, they're not built. No, nobody steals that to build a home. Sell it for drugs or beers, to buy groceries. What's the need to steal? Some people just want a quick buck, Perla, and they don't want to work like you and I for it. Perla says, okay, keep the pressure on and make this stuff too hot to handle. Yes, thank you, Michael. Petro says, Sandy, sadly, you can probably start another channel with just this thievery on it. Alejandro says, yeah, you know that though, but it's to gain reputation for some, and sometimes it offers that can't. All right. Well, Paul, thank you very much. I think we've got the basics now. We're going to put this up on the website. It's already trending on social media. We posted it on our Instagram and our Facebook pages. So folks, $10,000, but you don't need $10,000. You just do it for the right reason. And, definitely let's catch these thieves, because they're doing this to a larger company. Next thing you know, it'll be your little construction site where they come to your house that you've been saving for years, trying to build, put your little 2 pennies together, trying to build your little dream house that the bank owns for the next 25 years. And these guys are going to come and put you in a situation as well. So let's get them off the streets. If you think you know who they are, please message, and we'll pass the information on to the authorities. So Paul, I will send you the tip that we've gotten so far about who someone one of the individuals actually is. And we're hearing a name, a M name. Most people think that it's Mark. So Mark, honey child, your friend just outed you. The two of you can sit in a prison cell together and discuss it at a later date. What a hot mess. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Thanks a million. Thank you, Sandy. Have a great day, everybody. Okay. Happy New Year. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All righty. All right, folks. Yes, a hot mess indeed. What a thing. Patricia says, just join the conversation. Do I understand that this was Davenport? If so, do they have anyone with the name as suggested in the video of Mark or Mario on their list of employees? Yeah, they subcontract out a lot though. So it might not be someone who's directly working for them. So, remember we had the former premier's brother. He has a construction company. He was one of the people that, I don't know exactly what construction work he does, but he was getting a lot of Davenport projects until he went and screwed up and started treating his foreign workers like crap. And then once CMR exposed that and the workers, gave their statements and stuff, Davenport didn't want anything to do with him. They're like, oh, we can't be complacent in not paying your guys and so on. Speaking of construction companies that don't do what they're supposed to be doing. Hold on, let me tell you about what. Okay, let me tell you about another one. Let me tell you about this one. Okay, all right, here you know. During the holidays, what is this? During the holidays, we got a one quick second here. Looks like somebody was trying at 4:54 a.m. and 5:24 a.m. Somebody was trying some kind of hoodwinking thing. Sign-in attempt was blocked. Sending this to my security guy now, my web administrator. They're trying to sign into one of her emails. Mess with them. They don't know about a little thing called two-factor authentication. You're not getting none of my emails unless you know something. And it dodges the password. You got to come better than that. So during the holidays, I got a message. Let me try to remember the construction company now, because y'all need to do better. Not paying your guys often puts them in a position. So this came in December 31st. This person says, Miss Sandy, please, can you light a fire under Pioneer Construction? I don't know who they are, but Pioneer Construction, please. The workers haven't been paid since Christmas, and calls to the boss phone goes unanswered, ignored by him. The men are suffering. They can't pay their rent, can't buy food. This man is paying tradesmen $11 an hour. There's no benefits. They're dying here, ma'am, please. Everybody afraid to speak because he will fire them. Please even make a post saying Pioneer Construction, pay your workers. Please, Miss Sandy, and keep me anonymous. My gosh, you guys have got to do better than this. Your guys are begging. And, I don't believe that good people, even when they are in need, are going to go out there and steal because of being in need. But you really do put people in a precarious situation where they're not able to pay their rent and their other obligations, eat, put food on the table, and it's just wrong. If you're in the construction business and you can't figure out the right way to make a profit, other than not pay your guys, not pay pension, insurance, and whatever, you know, we got a problem. We got a really, really serious problem in our hands. And so I think that DCI, and I keep calling on them to do the right thing, they have got to do a better job of enforcement and checking for compliance with all of our laws. We're getting more lawless by the day, and I really have some serious concerns about it. Speaking of lawlessness, what's the name of that guy again? We had him featured on the show before. He continues to not pay his guys. Anyway, one of his workers is coming on the show. He just had surgery, so I do need to follow up and see when he's going to come on the show. I'll update you guys with that. That's another episode that's coming. Okay, let's have a look now at our substantive topic of the day. So, folks, couple things have happened, right? There was an incident on the beach, which I'm going to go over here in a second. And there was an incident down by the Marriott where the Marriott resort has rented or leased property from the DART organization because they have no beach, basically. And so they are, accusations about what they have been doing with this beachfront property. So, not beachfront property, on the actual beach. And some people are saying they're in contravention of the high water mark. So let's have a look at it, because I think it is important to see the video footage that we have and to then hear the allegations of what is actually going on. So we initially received some footage and concerns about this from one listener to the program. And then on Monday, we received more. People are saying it's right after the Kimpton. So my understanding is it's close to the Caboose site that these guys are workers from the Marriott were there carrying out some, let me just see here, some, they were carrying out some setup, if you will, of beach chairs and other stuff for tourists to be able to, I guess, sit down and enjoy a moment at the beach. So the problem, though, apparently the allegation is that they were quartering off the property, telling locals that they could not go in that area. And so now this has really, caused the whole situation. So when I first heard the story, the first thing I needed to ascertain was who was it? Is it actually the Marriott? Is it DART? Is it, who actually, number one, was doing what is alleged to have been going on? And are these people then the landowners, or what kind of the situation was? So what we've been able to ascertain from our sources, because you guys know we've got sources now, honey child. And we have reached out to the DART organization as well. And we do have a statement from them that we'll be sharing here in a second. But this is leased property. So it is owned by DART. Now, let me try to break this down. The DART organization, he owns a lot. He's got a nursery. There's Cayman Bay. There's all sorts of private properties, beachfront properties, the works. DART actually owns, I saw Perla saying DART owns the entire island. I don't actually think that he is Cayman's #1 landowner, believe it or not. I think that title might still be held by Miss Oldie. And she's a philanthropist, really nice lady. I met her recently. And she does a lot in the community, very, very silently. But she owns a lot of property, especially in East End. So the competition might be between her and the DART organization. I don't really know with certainty who Cayman's #1 landholder is, but it could be between, it's either him or her. And they are in their own right, millionaires beyond, right? Now, during the holidays, it's very, very interesting because someone sent me something about DART. There was some question. Let me try to see if I can find this email, because it was a very interesting email, but it shows you how people don't always understand the DART organization and what's going on and what they do, but we make a lot of assumptions. I have been trying to make less assumptions as I get older, because you know what they say about an assumption. Assumption, yeah? So I try to ask questions. Now, we've gotten to the point in our development, so to speak, here at CMR, where we have a lot of contacts with people directly. I can just message them. I'm going to tell y'all another story. I'm not getting too deep into this one, but there's a situation right now with this whole Degaro group. The owners who were part of it before, the directors and whatever, they're no longer with it. Apparently, it's now owned by Caymanians. Anybody who knows who owns it, message me, because I got a situation I'm trying to help a local business owner with, and it involves this Degaro group. So the Degaro people, yeah, they are now Caymanian owned. I don't know who these Caymanians are, but we need to talk to them. And, they had actually offloaded, where they were supposed to have that site on Cayman Brac where they were building this takeoff landing facility, whatever. They actually sold that to Frank Schillings. Now, y'all know Frank. I see CC talking about, she need to meet some money. People, go and talk to Frank Honeychow, because he has more money than Quaker has oats. Well, maybe. So that's my web security guy messaging me right away. Where'd you get this email? All right. So he has a lot of money. He has a lot more money than you and I do. Yeah, let's just put it that way. So he's purchased this land in Cayman Brac. He's been making a few acquisitions on the Brac. I understand that Tibbetts, is it Tibbetts Enterprises? He bought some Scots. It'd be the Scots, right? That own the quarry or whatever. They're in the Brac. He's also purchased that from them. So he looks like he wants to compete with Dart on the Brac, purchasing from property. He owns, you know what else he owns? He owns in Georgetown, right across from the court's office, where the coffee shop is downstairs. What's it called again? What's the coffee shop called? Starbucks. He owns that building as well. And the one behind it, the Twin Towers, Monaco Towers. So, he owns a few things. Yeah. Now, to be clear, he doesn't have Dart money, but he's still got enough. He's got more than you and I will ever see. So, what was my point of telling you about him again? Oh, yes. There are people who come on this island, and they're foreign investors. So Schilling has he's worth 500 million. How much is Dart worth? Oh, I'm sure Dart is probably like 10 times that, honey. Chill. Way more than that. Dart has so much money that he loans people. He loans money to people. Right? He's the bank. You as a country, you can go to him and be like, yo, we got some debt here. Can you help us out? Dart organization, Dart Finance. He's helped Caymanians before. Remember, he helped Randy Marion purchase Cayman 27. That was just a bad purchase. Sometimes you can't help people from making bad decisions. But he helped Randy with that situation. Do you guys know? You may not know this. And again, this is sometimes what you don't know is Dart is worth $5 billion. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. There's money and you can be rich. And then, you'd be trying to spend it on flashy cars and all these expensive watches, whatever. And that's $500 million rich. And then there is $5 billion rich. And that's like, makes the 500 million looks like a grain of sand. So listen, even people who work for the Dart organization, and I'm talking about Caymanians who are at a certain management level, do you know that the Dart organization actually does their mortgages for them? Like they'll give them a mortgage loan and they do it at a very competitive and preferential rate. I think even better than what they would be getting from the banks. And this is stuff that's helping Caymanian families. And I've known this for many, many, many years because I had a friend 10, 15 years ago who was a senior manager in the Dart organization. And when he was ready to get his house, he didn't have to go to a traditional bank. Dart was like, how much do you need? No down payments, no collateral, they're like, okay, you work for us. You're a good worker. You've been here for a minute. I'm sure there's some criteria in place, whatever. I'm sure they take a lien in the house. That would be sensible. But they actually give their employees loans to purchase property. Yeah. You don't have to go to the bank. Anyway, so someone said over the holidays, "Oh, is Dart leaving Cayman?" I'm just like, "Oh, why on earth would you even ask the question?" And they said saw something in New York where he was purchasing property. And I said, "Do you guys know?" Right? Take it from me. Cayman is not Dart's #1 land holding in the world. Now, I know y'all think so, because you're up in everybody's business in the Cayman Islands. You think, okay, because you believe that Dart is the #1 property holder, which he may not be, you assume that all his money is here. Well, he would be stupid, and he's not a stupid individual. And when we talk about him, we really should make sure that we understand this is a company, a very large company, a very large organization with presidents and vice presidents and all sorts of people making decisions on behalf of this organization. They have a 50-year mandate of, what they're doing, investing in this, that, and the next thing. He has so many companies that he has his own company registration section of his companies. And they do all his corporate work. They make sure every year, like all the, filings are done with the government agencies. And he has a whole department, compliance, that does all these sorts of things. He's got business managers and property managers. And I mean, that's when you're $5 billion rich, that's how you roll. And that's how you have to do it, to stay on top of things and to stay organized. Yeah. So I chuckled when this person sent me this email about the Dart organization leaving Cayman because they're purchasing something in New York. And I was like, you do know that his biggest land holding, most properties, is actually in America. So it's not Cayman. Y'all up in arms about it, but you need to make sure that you know what you're talking about. It's not in the Cayman Islands. A shocker, I know. Yeah? Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find the person who's. Yes. So this person sent this on the 22nd of December. And they said, let me see. Dart leaving ? And it's because of this article that says firm owned by Cayman Islands billionaire to buy North Texas Library. And there was actually 3 links. So there was that one. Solo cut billionaire Ken Dart buying 175 Water Street in New York City. Ooh, I'd like to see that property. Can I get a tour? I just need a tour. Just a little tips. So it says here that Ken Dart is acquiring 175 Water Street for $252 million. This was a September article for The Real Deal, which is a New York real estate magazine. Is that what Dart looks like? They're showing me a picture here. He looks kind of old. So it says that he's a secretive billionaire and heir to the foam cup fortune, is buying something many other investors are running away from in Manhattan office tower. So it talks about him making this deal for the financial district. It's the former AIG headquarters in the financial district for $252 million. Yes, sir. 31-story office towers there in New York from the Van Barton Group. And, this is a big deal, even in New York, 684,000 square feet tower. And it seems like there are plans to convert the top half of it into residential after AIG's lease expired in 2021. So apparently AIG owned it for more than 20 years and they sold it then to the Dart organization. This is interesting. But like I said, when you have that kind of money, you can buy property. If anybody who wants to sell it to you, you can certainly buy it. So yeah, most of his property holdings are not in the Cayman Islands. So then they sent another one, secretive Dart surfaces with $6.7 billion wager on tobacco. That was an article from Bloomberg. So this person sent 3 links and they're like, ooh, we see Dart doing other stuff. I'm like, listen, I suppose you probably don't become a billionaire because you're stupid. Although with Elon Musk and Kanye West, I do question if true intelligence is required to become a billionaire? I have pondered this very much over the holidays. Nonetheless, don't allow me to digress down that rabbit hole, I should say. So, yes, I would assume that you probably know a thing or two about business. Decades worth of, investments in all sorts of industries and stuff. I don't even know what percentage of DART's investment in Cayman accounts for his entire portfolio. 5%, 10%, maybe. I don't even know. Anybody from the DART organization listening that can answer this question for me? I don't think it's anywhere as much as you guys think. You diversify when you have money. That's a smart thing. You don't put all your coins in one basket. That's for sure, right? That makes good, logical sense. So just because DART is doing other stuff and, there are now people reporting on it and you might be aware of it, that doesn't mean that he's necessarily leaving the Cayman Islands, because he can't pick up Cayman Bay and walk away with it. But here in this jurisdiction, he owns a lot of property. Yes, it's fair to say. A lot of it you don't even know that he owns. So when you go camping out in Rum Point and y'all set up your campsites, we covered this last year actually. A lot of that down by Rum Point, Cayman Kai, Kaibo, that's all DART property. So you're camping on his property. Now, they're not doing anything with the property. So for now, the property is sitting there undeveloped, but they still are very, very concerned about you campers messing up the property. Camping season coming up again soon. Messing up the property, leaving your debris behind. So have you noticed that over the last couple of years, they've been going out there at their expense, putting up porta potties so that when you use their property, you have a proper camping. You don't have to take your poo-poo in the bushes. You can actually go in the porta potty and you can use it. They deliver it. They take it away. They ask you to, they provide garbage bags and garbage bins. They ask you to please enjoy your property, but keep it clean. We'll provide you with all this stuff. Here's a garbage bin. Just take your garbage and throw it in. But those are private properties. Yeah. A lot of you don't appreciate all this time that for probably many, many years, and I don't know at what point the DART organization acquired this particular property that we're talking about at the Marriott, but I'm sure that he's had it for a minute. You just didn't know that it was his. You thought it was owned by who? The Cayman Islands government. Shame on you for not knowing, but a lot of us don't know things. And so we make a lot of assumptions when we don't know things. Now, I want to share some photos with you guys because I think, again, the devil is always in the details, and we need to have a look at where this property is and exactly what it is that we're talking about. So it is north. Now, I'm not good with directions. I'll be the first to tell you all that. I'm the worst with north, south, whatever. I need to take out my little iPhone watch and be like, okay, is that north? Is that south? But I understand it's actually north of the Kimpton site, right where, close to where the Kaboo situation might have happened. Yeah. So that's a general location. And so this is a DART owned property, but DART is actually leasing it to the Marriott, and the Marriott is not owned by the DART organization, but it's just so that they can have some beach access because, honey child, apparently the Marriott ain't got no beach. Okay. So, it's that's the actual physical location of it. Yes. All right, let's look at some pictures. So this is a photo of how you get to the site. Here's another photo. Now, when you see the little umbrellas and beaches right there, that's the extent of the lease space. When I first looked at the video, sometimes it's hard to tell when a video is close up how much space you're actually talking about. Perspective is really, really important. So when you look at this from down the beach, that's not a huge area that is being utilized. I could try to go by there today and count the number of beach chairs that are there, but it's apparently not a whole lot. You see this picture? That little area down there, that's it. And here's another angle of it. And here are those chairs with the little cabanas and umbrellas again. It's interesting that this topic came up at a time when someone was messaging me saying, oh, I've visited your island before. And now that certain establishments are gone, where do we go to just have access to the beach for the day? Like, do you have where we can rent like a beach chair and an umbrella and get some drinks and snacks? And this is kind of what is going on here. So they have staff that are servicing these locations. So let's look at the videos that were sent in and let's talk about what the concerns are of people in the community, right? So here's video number 1. So for the benefit of our radio listeners, it shows the chairs. All right, so anybody good at counting? Can we count how many chairs are there? So I see 1, 2, 3, and 3 is 6, and that's 9 right there. 10, 11, 12. Let me start it over. 12. It's down the other side now. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So maybe 25 chairs. Yeah? I don't think there's any more than that. Anybody else counted more than that? So I would say 25 chairs. So this is a picture of a video that someone has sent us of the lineup of the chairs. Now here's another video. And so this is where people, I guess people park in that area and go through the underbush there under the great trees. And this is another video of the area. So some of the comments that we received in relation to this, I'm just going to read you what people had to say because they were very, very upset about this, included the fact that, let me just scroll back into these messages here for a second. So this is what people sent to us. They said that, oh, hold on. Someone said that they were trying to park there and then they were being blocked in, that they had staff there who were setting up and, serving people. So I guess the Marriott actually had their staff who were doing the setup and so on. This person says, I know that they said more videos from today with the chairs in the surf, which is well within the high water mark. That is an issue if that's actually happening. And so this person said that this is the beach spot where locals go to swim and camp on the old West Bay Road, where Dart has his roadblocks at, and now a beach bar and chairs for tourists. I'm not sure about the roadblocks. What roadblocks are we referring to? No more shade to sit under to be able to watch the kids play in the water. And then they forwarded messages, said the workers are from the Marriott, so I assume they're hotel guests, and they have a porta potty out there, bar area, and servers. And they said that they did send this to their government ministers as well. Oh, my apologies. We got a caller. Oh, shoot. My apologies. Why doesn't this phone ever ring? I heard something kind of buzzing, but I don't hear an audible ring on this phone ever. Call us back, 936 Bobo. So they said the Marriott, they're busing people in like nothing, talking about they are leasing the land. And this is ludicrous, says this person. So what we've been able to ascertain is yes, they are, oh yes, I have some more videos, hold on. They are leasing the property from the DART organization and they have permission to use it. And it really is now a question of, is this some sort of a breach? Is this a problem? And I'm going to tell you guys what I think here in a second. Let's watch 2 more videos that we were provided with as well. So this is another one with the underbush. I guess they're saying that the Caymanians sit here in the shade. Now, I don't know, most Caymanians not really sun worshipers like that. Like we're not really going out there getting all burnt up. But my question is this. The person says that we can't sit in the shade anymore. Why can't you sit in the shade? I mean, even if the chairs are in front of you, what's preventing you from sitting and continuing to sit in the shade and enjoy your sun? And shade, not the sun, because you're not looking, you're looking to sit under the bush. So this area is shaded. The chairs look like they're still quite a distance away from the underbush, which according to this person is what Caymanians want to be able to do, to just sit down and enjoy the shade and watch their kids. Those chairs are in the sun because a lot of our visitors trying to get a suntan, honey child. Most Caymanians not bothered with no suntan. Morning, caller.
Yes, morning, Sandy. I like the conversation going on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, about this thing I hear Aliano about the high water mark, right? I've been to the. I'm not a homeowner or anything like this, but I just study these things, right? Because there's nothing else to do but the island and to know your laws. And I went to a survey about the situation, right? Like when the real estate agents, they sell their homes in the realtor magazines and stuff. Sometimes they be on social media is a complete wrong information because they marks out beaches, and the beaches, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, the beaches, they come and go. So if you build on the beach, it will take away. Now, there is a building in West Bay right behind the gas station, Connie's gas station, and it has not been developed. You know the reason why? I have no clue. But the only thing I can assume is that they built on it, assuming that the beach was always going to be there, and then something came and take the water, the sand away. It's on the water as well. It's on stilts. So this is the reason why I think that this high water mark, I think people are misunderstanding it, and it's a seasonal thing.
Well, I mean, listen, Mother Nature giveth and Mother Nature takes it away, without a doubt. Exactly. And when it comes to the coastline, I'm going to share something else with you guys here in a minute, because you're absolutely correct about what happens to the coastline. And it's not unique to Cayman. I want to show y'all something actually from my vacation in Jamaica that y'all are going to be shocked about. But thank you so much, caller, for that insight.
You're welcome.
All right, folks. So yeah, I mean, listen, this happens all over the world. And like I said, I've got a video for you guys that even on my vacation, I was thinking about you guys every single day. And I was like, ooh, honey child, I need to show people in Cayman this so that they can have some perspective, because perspective is a hell of a thing. Very, very important, folks. But listen, here's my take on this. I'm going to tell you what I think. You don't have to agree with it, but this is a couple of things here. Number one, when I first moved back to Cayman many, many years ago, oh gosh, I don't want to date myself, but it's been has it been over 20 years now? Lord have mercy, I'm getting old. I was on the beach, and I had a security guard approach me about being on the beach of, I can't remember what property, somewhere in West Bay Road. And it was these people's beach and whatever. And I saw some little property owners of these condos there, like, oh yes, remove it from the beach. And I said, listen to me. And of course, the security guard was not a Caymanian. I said, listen, son, I'm not the person that you want to bring this argument to today. Okay. Really, I'm not. And I fully understand how insulting it is for foreign landowners and for a foreign security guard to be approaching me as a Caymanian, talking foolishness about I can't enjoy my beach because there's no such thing as a public beach or as a private beach. Well, there are private beaches up to a point. Yes. And so I told him, sir, please step away from me. I'm not the person. Today is not the day. And let's just keep it moving. But I get the sentiments that it brings up in you when this sort of thing happens. And when you think someone is commandeering a public beach in order to facilitate private functions and so on. Remember last year, we were talking to the Westin. Big shout out to, what's my friend there over at the Westin? Miles is his name, I think. He rectified the situation right away because, they had put up some signs on that beach that just didn't make any sense about private function and blah, blah, blah. And the irony of it is, in fact, they had used those signs for many, many years. And no one ever said or did anything about it, because as people continue to encroach even more and more and more on our space, I think that people are just becoming more vocal and we're becoming more upset, and we're taking it to social media. Now, he responded right away, said, in his opinion, he's a new GM there, the signage was wrong, but they were going to rectify the situation, and they were going to, I'm trying to remember his name now. Is it Miles? And they were going to deal with it immediately. So they ordered new signs forthwith, took down the old signs. They really handled the situation, I think, as best as they could. Remember, he even came on the show. We talked to him about it. We discussed it. Gosh, maybe that was the year before last, actually. But anyway, it all went down. And, he said, thank you for highlighting this. We didn't know. Our workers don't know, because most of them not Caymanians. So they don't really know what's going on. And so the whole thing was rectified. Yeah. Sometimes you have a misstep, and the best you can do is just quickly fix the situation, apologize, and don't do it again. Now, I try to be balanced with most things in life. I'm a very, very balanced person, believe it or not. When you see me get a bit emotive, even that comes from a place of balance. I know y'all thinking Sandy can't be talking the truth this morning. She must be crazy, but it is. Even when you see me pop off, I use a couple bad words that insult you because you go to church and you're like, Sandy, I don't want you to use no bad words, Diana. Don't curse. Even that is measured. That's not really me losing control. That's me choosing to lose control in a measured way. So when I tell you about your bumper clot, me thinking straight. Okay. Yeah. And that's just how it is. Because sometimes you have to go there. And then other times you don't have to go there at all. You just think about it. You do a little bit of research and you go, let's look at the perspective of this. This is how I see it, right? I'm a landowner. Well, actually, the bank owns the land. CNB still owns my land, but not for much longer, CNB. Yeah, they own my land. Okay. But I fancy myself in my head, I'm a landowner. One day, getting there. So should any Tom, Dick, and Harry off the streets be able to come and tell me what to do with my private property? You better not step to me because I got to tell you about you behind. Does it matter if the landowner is a Caymanian landowner who owns 0.34 acres, owns 10 acres, owns 20 acres? Does it matter if the landowner is a foreign national who is a millionaire, a billionaire, and owns tons of beachfront property? No. The laws should apply equally to every single person. So if I feel certain protection against, as it relates to my own property, like you don't come to me and tell me what I can do in my yard, but there are laws and there are things that I can do and that I can't do, and I have to respect those. But at the same time, when I purchased my property, the reason why I'm purchasing property is because I want the freedom. Yes, me want to plant some yam and potatoes in my backyard. That's my business. Right? I'm not breaking the law. I'm not planting weed. If I want to put up, play pickleball in the yard and kick off my shoes in the lawn, blah, blah, blah. That's the freedom of having your own little house and your own little property. Nobody can come into my domain and tell me the interior of my house, how I must decorate it, what color I must paint things. I can put it the ugliest color in the world. That's my business. One of the things that is very, very tricky, and I want y'all to pay attention to this because this is critical. People do not like uncertainty. Yeah? So you will shoot yourself in the foot when you become a jurisdiction that is fly by the seat of your pants. And nobody can trust that if I invest in the Cayman Islands, if I buy something, if I start a business, whether you're Caymanian, expat, or otherwise, that there will be no certainty with anything that happens there. So every single time a government comes in, things are going to get changed. Nobody likes that. That instability is one of the things that has destroyed a lot of jurisdictions all over the world. Business people, landowners, homeowners, people in general like to operate in an environment where there is stability and certainty. Yeah? So even if the landowner is Dart, which for the record, he done a Caymanian now, even if the landowner is Dart, imagine how he would feel if you come to him and say, well, you purchased this land, I don't know, 15, 20, 25 years ago, and you had an understanding that these are the rules and this is how it works, and now we're going to change the rules on you. Yeah. And now you can't do what you intended to do with your property. And it's because the latest government just doesn't like you, or we do like you, or whatever the situation. No. Certainty. Yeah. So when people say, well, this government needs to change, I'm like, wait a minute, change what exactly? You want to change the very fundamental nature of how leasehold property is dealt with in this jurisdiction? Or how, freehold property is dealt with? When you own it outright, you want to be able to dictate and tell me what I can do with my own property? I know you're not talking to me. That's not how that can work. Certainty in business, right? You can't say oh yeah, we're going to give you a license to do this. And then the next government that gets up because a few people get upset on social media, strip her license away. She can't do this no more. She can't offer this service, blah, blah, blah. Not if I've done it the right way. I'll follow the letter of the law and I have really, done nothing wrong. You've got to be careful the things that you say and what it is that you're actually encouraging to be done. All right. This particular situation, we have tourists who come to this jurisdiction. I'm going to talk about them in a second, who have an expectation that they're paying one of the highest fees in the world to buy an airline ticket, to be able to come here and sit in a friggin' lawn chair and enjoy one little toops of the sun. We ain't got no mountains for them to climb. There's no rivers. There's no white water thing. There's no zip lines. There is a very limited amount of things that people can come here and do as tourists. And one of the things they apparently love is just to get a suntan and to enjoy the beach in a safe way where they're not being haggled by beggars and vagabonds. Yes? To just be able to chill out on the beach, put up your foot, take a nap and sleep. Have a nice pina colada or whatever the beverage of your choice is in the beautiful Caribbean sun. And they pay a prime dollar for that. Let me be very, very clear, Naina. When I was in Jamaica the other day, I heard some in-laws saying that there was some event that was going on and they were saying it in Jamaican dollars, like, oh, that's so expensive. And I can't remember, was it like $100,000, something? And I was like, how much is that in real money? When I say that, I don't mean to insult Jamaicans, but your money sounds, because the exchange rate is so jacked up. When you say $1,000 to me, I'm thinking like 1,000 CI, 1,000 US. That's a lot. That's money. But when you say 1,000 Jamaican dollars, I'm like, how much is that again? I had to pull out my little calculator app on the phone. Currency exchange. I'm like, $1,000 is only $20, $25. That's it. But in their world, $1,000 is still $1,000. And they're like, yeah, we don't pay that for an entrance fee to the zoo or these events. We pay like, maybe a little $100, $200. And I was like, okay. $25 to get into a zoo is like no money at all. You go to places like Busch Gardens, all these theme parks, you're paying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars US. Now they kind of starting to outprice themselves, but nonetheless, that's what it is. People pay, and most of them don't mind paying. Some of them cheap as ras, but you know what I mean? Some of them don't mind paying it because it's the ambiance. It's the, I think I'm safe. Leave me alone. Let me just enjoy the sun. Yes, there's not a whole lot to do here. There's not much nightlife. I'm going to go to a few fancy, nice restaurants. I can hang out at the Kimpton and kick up my feet. I can get a massage, overpriced $200-$300 massage for somebody to rub up my sore muscles, rub my little bonky cheek, whatever the situation is. They're looking for a different vibe that Cayman offers. But we have to understand that our vibe isn't everybody's cup of tea either. There are people who want an adventure, right? When they travel, they don't want to be, I'll do a cycling tour like I'm some 55-year-old granny. I just want to cycle on West Bay Road and pray that somebody don't run me over. Some people are looking for more than that, and so Cayman might not be the destination of their choice. We don't have a whole lot of excitement going on here, right? So the question becomes, and this is one for a tourism product. I'd love to hear what our tourism minister has to say about this. What are we doing if we want tourism? This is a question. What are we doing to ensure that we're giving the tourists what they want and that we're protecting our tourism industry? Now, the beach has disappeared in some sections of 7 Mile Beach, including by the Marriott. They have no beach. Yes, that's an issue that has to be addressed in a different way. Folks, Mother Nature giveth and she taketh away. There's a reason why our ancestors did not value beachfront property and why they never built their homes on the beach. They put the dead people on the beach. Because when Mother Nature wants to clean it back, well, you can clean the dead. They're nothing but bones by now. 100 years later, yeah, okay, take the bones out to sea. They'll be all right. They're not coming back to use that body again. It wasn't valued in the same way that it is now, where you're going to pay millions of dollars just because you want to be on the beachfront. And then y'all encroaching too close. You're not doing, by any stretch of the imagination, what would be considered real and proper setbacks. So when the shoreline begins to change, and it will, yeah, you got a problem. So I told y'all on this trip that I just took, my little family vacay, that we went to Dunn's River Fall. Now, my poor husband, poor him, what a mess. He hasn't been home in a minute. In fact, he hasn't been home in over 4 years. That's why we had to squeeze in a little trip just for him, because honey chill. He's not, oh God, I say he's not the average Jamaican, but you know, a lot of Jamaicans, they gotta go home every single year. Don't mess with that now. They'd be like, listen, I'm not a Jamaican if I can't go home. That's actually really not him. He, you know, he's gonna be a Cayman, honey chill. And thank God too, because I'm not really a person who would want to go like every 2 months kind of thing. That's just not my vibe that often. Yeah. So he hadn't been home in a minute, and he kept seeing stuff that was like different. He's like, oh my God, when did that building go there? When did that happen? I was like, here, you know, I said, Marlon, I keep telling you that there's a lot that's going on in Jamaica. I probably know about more what's going on in Jamaica than him, because I keeps up more with the news. He don't even read Jamaican news. He'd be like, what do you say happening? So at Dunn's River, there's a beach down at the base of the river that has literally disappeared. And it's not because you got a hotel built on the beach. It's not because there's a big time condo there. It is just what Mother Nature does. So I'm going to show y'all. What he was saying to me. Hold on, let me download this video. Because he's like, oh my God, global warming is real. I'm like, you think? Same thing the last time that I was in Jamaica. Was that the last time? No, the time before that. Did I tell y'all that this is a funny story, but we went to oh God, what's the beach called where they do all the like little lobster and stuff there on the beach? Oh God, what's that area called again? Is it Hanover Beach? Oh God, y'all gonna have to help me with this one. But anyway, they do like that. You pick out your lobster and they'll do it fresh for you and all that kind of stuff, right? So on that trip, we went in December. That was a trip that I actually, no, it's not Little Ochi. I can't remember the name of it. Hellshire. Thank you. Boy, Miss Brenda, she know all about, yes, Hellshire Beach. There you go. Tish and Miss Brenda came in at the same time with the answer. Hellshire Beach. I went there and had some of these, some of the natural stuff and the oysters and whatever. And lo and behold, that's a trip that I actually got pregnant on. You go figure. Mm-hmm. Something in the Jamaican lobster, honey chill. I tell them this time, don't bring me no lobster, you know. I mean, I want no I don't want any what did we have? We had lobster and oysters. I said, no, don't bring it to me this trip. Thanks anyway. So Hellshire Beach, same thing. We went there and the water has taken the beach. Mother Nature's taken the beach. It has eroded and it's right there now on those wooden structures that are on the beach. This is not unique to Cayman. Yeah, Mother Nature, that's why you have to know a thing or two about shorelines and how they work and how they appear and how they disappear. Most of us are not 100 years old plus, so we don't get it. We don't understand what it was before. 7 Mile Beach, which is only 5.5 miles or whatever, we've been boasting about just for the past 40 or 50 years. It wasn't always there, and it wasn't always 7 Mile Beach. So when Mother Nature comes back to take it again, she's going to take it. And if you built a structure in her way, she will erode your foundation and she will take your structure as well. And listen, I have no problem with Mother Nature taking the damn beach back, because that's just how it works. Whether there's a structure there or not. Now, I do think that human beings can make it worse by encroaching on the shoreline. And then you put these multi-million-dollar properties at risk. But you know what? I say, Mother Nature, take the damn property too while you're at it, because that'll teach some of y'all a valuable lesson not to build on the beach. What does it say about a wise man does not build his house where? On the damn sand. Watch where you're placing your foundation, right? But look at this video now. This is poor Marlon, who was so shocked to see that at Dunn's River, the beach has disappeared. And the man said, but geez, I'm peace. I believe the global warming is real. And I said, really?
It's real.
Why you say global warming is real?
Because I remember this beach. I had to go out to where they were.
All right. I don't know that you can see it quite yet, but Marlon is like, he remembers when this beach, there's an actual, you see the white buoys out there? You can kind of see them in this angle. He's like, he remembers when the beach used to be out to where the buoys are. Now the ocean has come in, and some portions of down here by Dunn's River, there's like a slither of white sand that we can still call a beach. There's nothing left. Marlon was so shocked. I had to, normally you don't catch him on video for nothing because he's not really a public person like that. But I was like, let me just record and turn on my camera because I need to hear what you're saying, because I want to be able to share this with the people of the Cayman Islands so that they can put things in perspective and so that they can understand. This beach erosion situation is not unique to us. There are factors that cause it to happen, some beyond our control that we'll never be able to control. And then there are some global warming, right? Those of you who don't care nothing about the environment. If you don't believe that it has an impact, then you need to wake up, because it really does. The warmer the waters are, impacts the motion and the tides, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a poor Marlon being so shocked beyond belief. Why you say global warming is real?
Because I remember this beach. I had to go out to where they were.
It was all the way up there. And that's now how many feet? That's like 20 feet. And all the beach is gone now at Dunn's River. And as you can see to the left here of this video that I'm showing you, there's no beach at all. They're walking to start the descent at the bottom of the river, right? And all of that, they're actually walking in water. There is no beach left. Wow.
You can see the sand.
Yeah. So where those people are standing all the way out there, like underneath the little branch, for those of you watching, Marlon said that's where the beach used to be. And you can kind of almost see it. Certain areas look it doesn't have that darker color, looks very sandy still, quite shallow. He said that's where the beach was. Well, once again, Cayman is not unique in beach erosion. Coastal areas, folks. Mother Nature taketh and she giveth, and she taketh again. That's it. That's all not much beach left here. That's it. He's shocked. He hasn't been here. When was the last time you were here?
This is not a CMR exclusive. This is not vacation.
This is a CMR exclusive interview, yes. Dunn's River Fall Beach has disappeared over the years. So that's all that's left. Well, the little patch that's left, people are still very much enjoying it. They trying to, poor Marlon. That's a shock look in his face. Y'all can tell him he's CMR famous now. But yes, I mean, that's all that's left of it. And he was just like, what the hell? He really could not believe it. He was shocked. And I remember that when we went to Hillshire, now this would have been Hillshire Beach. That would have been, well, Gianna's 6 now. So that would have been over 7 years ago. It was the same thing. He was like, where did the beach go? Perla says you better behave and continue to be a good boy. Who are you talking to? Thank you, Camaria. Thank you, Miss Shirley. Thank you, Miss Brenda. Wayne says you can't compare the beach with Dunn's River. It's been historical and it still have a falls. Are you still high? What are you talking about? That's not the point here at all. Wayne, don't be coming at the tail end of a conversation to know what you're talking about now. The point is beaches erode. Sometimes they're built back, they come back, and it's just what it is. Now, the Marriott. There was a video of them using a drill to drill into the beach to, I don't know if they were securing their umbrellas or what they were doing with the drill. I honestly did not think that that was necessary to be drilling into the ground. And I don't know if that is compliant. So I do have some concerns about that. And I also have some concerns that their chairs were actually probably placed, rightfully, concerned citizens saying, at the high water mark, which nobody owns. That's the point now. where you no longer own the beach. But what has been happening on West Bay Road a lot is to restrict beach access. And this is an ongoing issue. A lot of the properties on West Bay Road, they know that there is a beach access route. They should all have clear signs. And who's in charge of signage? Would this be NRA or somebody else in government? I need to beg y'all a favor. On a regular basis, and when I say regular, I mean at least once a quarter, you need to send your staff around to check these beach access, public access signs and ensure that they remain clear and free from any overgrowth and debris, because this is what these properties do now. They allow that portion of the property to become overgrown. So you can't see the sign. And the next thing you know, when nobody's looking, they turns around and they push the sign down. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy.
How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to add 2 cents to your conversation about the beach erosion, you know?
Uh-huh.
Do you know why all this beach erosion and stuff? You say it's Mother Nature, but it's Mother Nature fighting for herself, you know, because of man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even with Duns River Falls and around the world, everybody's encroaching on the coastline, and they're building all these sea walls, which changes the water tides or the way the water around the island. So when you do that, you're going to get something else, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why our beaches are getting eroded or disappearing. And the government could do something about it, you know, if they don't only think about the pockets.
Well, I see a lot of beaches that are being eroded that have no beach wall or no property there. Just like this Duns River Fall example. It's going to happen regardless, but I mean,
but the beach wall doesn't have to be in front of the property, Sandra.
Well, I don't think it should.
Away,
like I said, I don't think it should be there because
away, it's the way how the water moves around the island. So if you do something 20 miles up the island coast, it's going to affect the rest of that 20 miles going around the island coast. So it doesn't have to be a seawall like a hotel built in front of them. It could be 10 hotels down that did it. That changes the course of the water wave, that the sand and all of that. And that's what's happening. The sand goes around the island every year, you know. But if you change that course of the sand, you're going to have something to deal with. And that's what's happening here. Because you see 7 Mile Beach was never always there, but it was always there. But it was never developed as a 7 Mile Beach. It had all these trees on it. So since they cleared it up and made it passable and everybody loved it, just the pure white sand, that's what we got. We got the beach. Now everybody's building these seawalls, even the port in town. Remember, all of that was sea. And they built out on the sea. So that changes the course of everything, right? It changes everything. So we have to understand that we can't be short thinking when it comes to Mother Nature. We're just building everything on the beach and talking about the high water mark. We need to push it back some.
No, I completely agree with you. But there's beach erosion that happens all over the world. Someone just mentioned about thousands of years ago, what was formed and how rivers moved and coastlines moved, and it had nothing to do with an actual built structure at all.
But that's like global warming. Global warming comes from people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, good common sense tells you that you should not build anywhere near coastal lines, to be honest, because when these events happen, your house, your condo, your hotel is going to be in the water, as we can clearly see, for sure.
That's like in North Side. I know of properties in North Side that insurance won't touch. They're uninsurable because they are big liabilities. No matter what they want, and these are $1 million homes.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to touch them. No, it's just like in Florida. Florida takes up like maybe 80% of the insurance claims. That is why the insurance in the States goes up every minute, because of Florida. One little small state. And most of the places there are uninsurable because they are high liabilities. Nobody will touch them. So why does the government give these people or Land and Survey give these people rights to build there when they know at the end of the day they won't be able to be insured? So it's a liability.
Yeah.
So it goes right back to the top.
Without a doubt.
So I just wanted to add that 2 cents.
Yes, I appreciate it. Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
All right, my dear. This other caller, listen to the program, says, Marlon is so correct. I do remember a larger beach space at Dunn's River. There used to be a bridge somewhere there. There was space between the river and the beach. Now the two are merging together, my dear. So, I mean, I think that the Marriott needs to listen to what the people are saying. And with most things, I think that we can have some middle ground where, yes, there are tourists who come here who might want to have a facility, beach access, because the Marriott has no beach, and they want to sit on the beach. They'll be escorted there. They can have their little server. Listen, I don't have an issue with any of that, provided they clean up after themselves and they don't encroach on locals having access to the beach. And even the high water mark. Listen, I go to the beach when I have my little dog. I love to take my dog to the beach. We walk on the beach. You know, if your chair is on or too close to the actual water and you're in the high water mark, listen, when I walk by, if my dog kick up sand on you, that's your business, because you're encroaching now in an area that's like a public space. But, you know, we all have to try to get along. Yeah, so this is what we reached out to the DART organization when this started to happen, and they did issue a statement. This is coming from Ben Mead, who's a senior manager of communications, and it said, let me just see here now. In response to concerns about possible restricting of public access to the beach north of the Kimpton C5 Resort plus Spa, we'd like to assure the public that DART, as a landowner, has not and is not taking such steps. Over the years, this privately owned land has been made available for public use, in particular camping and related activities, and we now have a short-term agreement with the Grand Cayman Marriott Beach Resort, which is a non-DART property, for use of this land. So their guests can fully enjoy 7 Mile Beach, one of Cayman's premier tourist attractions, and enhance overall visitor experience. Under this arrangement, there have been steps taken to not prohibit or obstruct access to the beach by members of the public. So that's their corporate position. Now, sometimes the message doesn't trickle down to the worker bees. So the guys who are out there who are just making, I don't know, $10, $12 an hour, putting up the beach chairs, and they're the servers and they're part of the events team at the Marriott and whatever, did they get the memo? I don't know. And I bet you this is where the communication starts to break down. This is DART's position. I don't think Marriott has said anything. I don't believe that they've issued any statement on this, but they need to ensure that their workers who are on site, right, of this leased land understand the parameters of what they can and cannot do. You can't prohibit people from accessing the beach, getting in the water. If you put your chairs in the ocean and people walk by and your guests are not happy with that, that's too bad. Too sad, too bad. They're going to get mad. Push the chairs back, right? Someone said they were blocking them with their vehicles. You can't do that. Okay, let's make sure we're all on the right page now. So Marriott, what I would suggest is they all take a minute and assess what actually happened, why people were feeling encroached upon over the weekend, why all of a sudden my phone was blowing up, although I was in Jamaica trying to enjoy a minute. Why were people saying that this was happening and you guys were blocking them? Now, I don't know in terms of a vehicle driving up on the beach. I mean, it is private property. So you might be permitting foot traffic, but you might say, hey, you can't be driving on a private land. There might be perimeters. What they need to do is put up signage. One thing I know, just like I said, people don't like uncertainty. People like certainty. People like to know. Sometimes if you put up signs like no vehicles driving here, that's all people need to understand that is actually going on. Yeah. We have to live in this world together. Some of y'all don't like each other. That's okay. You don't have to like everybody. I'm not about kumbaya. I'm just about, listen, I have my space and my perimeters. Don't cross it. Yeah. You have your space and your perimeters. If you're one of those people, say, Sandy, don't get into my space, whether it's physical, whatever, I'm good. We can coexist. You don't have to love everybody to coexist, to get along. But it does require a degree of respect for people, right? All the way around, for people's property, right? For people's ability to be able to walk on the beach, to enjoy walking the coastline, getting exercise. Everybody wants to enjoy the sun. Caymanians enjoying the shade. We want to be able to camp out. I think that we can do this. We don't have to create this sort of animosity that I keep seeing that's happening. And one of the things about social media is, Lord have mercy, nothing can piss people off quicker than a social media post. And that's why when people send me stuff, it was so interesting because it was sent to me on, I want to say Friday. And by Monday afternoon, people are like, oh, they sent it to Sandy and Sandy not publishing it. And I was like, pump your friggin' brakes. Okay. I am actually doing some fact checking. Here's the real deal. Asking some questions, trying to figure out who actually owns the land, because just because Tammy Sue, I'm just throwing out a name, that wasn't who it was. Just because Tammy Sue Ebank's telling me that DART owned the land, I don't know that to be a fact. So I would like the opportunity to reach out to the DART organization and say, hey, do y'all own this land? Right? Just like people saying, oh, Frank Schillings now owns DeGardo. Actually, he doesn't. He just bought the property in Cayman Brac. So I have a responsibility, because y'all sitting back here talking about, oh, Sandy better get her facts straight. Well, it's not just when the story is about you and your family, even when it's about the DART organization, even when it's about the government. I have a responsibility to try and get as close to the actual story and the facts as possible. So if it takes me a minute to email people, to WhatsApp people and ask for a response, these people actually do work and do other stuff. They're not sitting down all day just responding to CMR, although I must admit most of them are pretty quick on it. Give them a minute to respond. So this isn't about, oh, I don't know if this person's trying to call the show or what, but they're calling the wrong number. Oh, the number to call if you're trying to call is 936. Oh yeah, let me message. I'm 936-2626 is the show number. So, yeah, this is not a situation where I'm not trying to castigate anybody. I'm trying to get the facts. If the DART organization was in the wrong, then we would come to that conclusion, right? If they're not, and here's the situation, they've leased it to the Marriott. Maybe they told the Marriott, these are the rules. The Marriott may or may not be playing by the rules. We need to ascertain as best we can what is actually going on here and what's happening. Y'all say CMR is here to give you the facts and tell you what's happening. I am not wanting to be part of giving you misinformation. That's never been a remit, for the record. We haven't always gotten it right, but like they say, if it don't go so, it close to so, right? Some sources I have over the years, really been able to feel out. They're very emotive. They come to you with something. You can't jump on their emotions. You can't jump on what they give you, because they're 50-50. 50% of the time they're right, 50% of the time they're off. And they give you the same amount of passion with the 50% that's off the mark. Good morning, caller. Hello? Uh-oh. What happened to the phone call? Call ended. I hope they didn't run out of credit. Please don't get a toll-free number. Talking to Flo. So, folks, that's what it is, right? And that's our position. We have no issues at all talking about any topic under the sun, as you could probably see. We'll talk about it. You got your problems. You want to come in here and air your dirty laundry? We will give you the platform to do so. But at the same time, we're on a fact-finding mission. We want to know what's actually going on. Who's to blame if there is an issue? What's it all about? Giving you as much information as possible so that you can walk away with a more informed set of details to then, come to your own conclusion. Now, social media being what it is, I think we all have those moments where we get very, very emotive. Let me see if I can call this caller back. Still trying to get used to this Android phone, honey chill. Where we all get emotive, and we all will say and post off on social media, and that doesn't mean that it's gospel. It really doesn't. All right, let me see if I can get this caller back. Hello, caller. Are you trying to get on air? Nope, don't look so. All right. I don't know. Okay, so let me talk about another issue relating beach access and tourists, because this one is very, very concerning. So I told y'all on yesterday's program there was some sort of an incident where tourists were assaulted. I'm still waiting on the RCIPS to provide some information. Yes. Okay, so I'm still trying to get a bit of information here, folks, on what really transpired, because what I heard was a couple days ago there was an incident at the beach. It was a hot mess, Sandy. This is the phone call I got. It was a hot mess. Happened on Monday. Tourists were assaulted, and there was some situation with a jet ski, and this, that, and the next thing. I was like, what? Tourists were assaulted in Cayman by vendors, by beach vendors? What the hell? Now, we can't be supporting that kind of thing. Like I said, if we don't want tourists anymore in our country, if y'all are fed up, right? We're having to compete with tourists because of traffic. You want to go to the beach and enjoy all 5.5 miles by yourself. You don't want any tourists on the beach. You don't want the Marriott here. You don't want the Ritz here. You don't want the Kimpton here. Let's step back and reevaluate how we disengage, right? You don't want the tourism dollar, which brings in how many millions per annum. You no longer want that money because you have another plan of how Caymanians are going to survive not connected to tourism. Okay, if you say so, let's talk about what the plan is. But there's certain things that you cannot do to negatively impact your product, such as assaulting a tourist. Because when that shit, excuse my language, goes viral, we got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. All of a sudden, you're going to start ending up in these tourism magazines and trending all over the world that Cayman is not a tourist-friendly jurisdiction. And if we don't want to be tourist-friendly, we don't do it, right? By assaulting people. Sorry. We do it by coming up with an alternative plan of how y'all gonna pay your bills and what you're gonna do with all the hotels and all the jobs that they create and all the trickle down in the economy that happens for restaurants and everybody else. Don't ruin your tourism product with foolishness like assaulting people and crime. So here's what was said, right? I've been calling people, trying to get a firsthand account of what happened. And finally, I had someone share who actually witnessed it firsthand, because that's what I was looking for. I had people who heard about it, who initially told me about it. And I said, I need a firsthand account of this situation. This is what we have. This person says, I was on the beach during the incident, didn't get up to go and see it myself, but some of my party did. The tourist guy is a thief. So this is the visitor now. He went and agreed to use the local vendor's jet ski facilities. Then after he tried to sneak off to a taxi to avoid having to pay. When the vendor saw him trying to get into the taxi and didn't settle his bill, he approached him about it, and the tourist guy was refusing to pay. Shameful. I'm not sure who swung first, but the local vendor was allowing the guy to take off to the ship without paying him. I think something's missing there, but okay. So the police did get involved. Not sure what the police did. And we asked them what they did, and they still haven't responded as yet. So I'm still waiting on them. But the tourist shouldn't have been permitted to leave the jurisdiction until he paid the local vendor. Because at the end of the day, he initiated the business transaction to use the guy's facilities. And the reality is no Caymanian can go to Miami or any other Caribbean country and use someone's jet ski facilities and refuse to pay and then not get arrested. I'm not supporting any violence, but what that tourist was doing was very dishonest, and he needs to be held accountable. Hopefully, the local vendor will change his policy to require full payment up front, or at least a 60% deposit to secure himself from this type of instances in the future. And I agree with this. If this is what happened, I agree with this wholeheartedly. But listen to me. We cannot have tourists or anybody else coming here thinking that they could hoodwink local businesses and not pay for whatever service it is. You don't go into a restaurant and sit down, have a meal, and then get up and walk out the restaurant. Yeah, no. That's not how it works. Even if you did not enjoy the meal, you still pay. Right? Now, if it was really bad and you complained early enough in the process, normally the facility will say, you know what, it's on us. You found a cockroach in your food. Yep, don't worry about it. You're not going to have to pay for this meal. But you don't sit down and enjoy a whole plate of food or use a jet ski service, and then after the fact, decide that you're going to just get in your taxi cab and drive off. That is the very definition of theft. Did the RCIPS do anything about it? I don't know, because I'm still waiting on them to respond to the email. We have seen in previous times that the RCIPS got involved in what would traditionally be civil matters when it was a tourist who was demanding service or payment or whatever, and not the other way around all the time. If it was a local transaction, it'd be like, oh, we're not getting involved in that, honey. That's a civil matter. It has nothing to do with us. So I do have a number of questions for the RCIPS in relation to this. I need to know if, reports were filed and, what their position is. Was anybody arrested? What happened? So I'm going to shoot them another email again to say, can we please get an update on this situation? Now, it seems like they're one of their PR managers or whatever is on maternity leave. I was surprised she's having a baby already. I'm like, didn't she just get here? And already she's on maternity leave? All right, well, let's not go there. But anyway, the Caymanians trying to pick up the slack, and they're, I guess, are a little bit slow. Let me say follow up. And when you this again, I sent it on Tuesday. Let me send it again. When you mark something as an urgent request, they still don't respond as though it's urgent. Trust me. They're like, oh, we didn't see that email. Sorry. So we'll find out a bit more about this story. But visitors, if you're listening to this program, this is not a jurisdiction where you can come and try that kind of thing. Believe me, you and a lot of other places, you wouldn't try it either. Did y'all see the video of the Jamaican guy in Mexico? This has been trending. Did y'all see this? I don't know what set him off, but he was breaking up all kind of glass and all kind of stuff. Honey child, I kept saying, somebody else sent it to me again this morning. I kept saying he's in the wrong place. Hell, he'd be in the wrong place in Jamaica, much less in Mexico. You go messing with these people in Mexico and they will shoot you and ask questions afterwards. I was surprised that the video went on for as long as it did and nobody did not pull out a firearm at the airport. Because in Mexico, like I said, shoot first and then figure out what the hell was actually going on after the fact. Have a look at this video. This is quite interesting. So, there he is. I don't know if it said. There's at least 4 people in this room fighting with this guy. What you hear just now, again, I'm trying to describe it for the benefit of our radio listeners. That was glass breaking. Right? There's tons of other people kind of backing up to him. Look like he picking up his bag. And he comes out and he's a big knife. Big knife in his hand. All of a sudden, people running. Yeah, man, he got his knife in his hand. He, give me my passport, you know. We're ready to stab you out for my passport. Give me my passport. Lord have mercy. I don't know why they took his passport. And you hear when he bring in the mama. When you talk about your mama, you better be careful. The man sound like he pissed off. Look, this guy took one of the you know, the little metal, what are they called? Like they rope off an area and there's like the metal piece every so often. He picked up one of them and tried to throw it at the man. Now he's walking through section of the airport. And people are scattering and running. He's in a Mexican airport, allegedly. And was that a shot? Did somebody actually finally shoot him? Did they finally shoot him? I wasn't quite sure of that man. Because he thinks he can just leave the airport. Not in Mexico, honey, chia. That, but I think that's him still walking. I don't know what that sound was. Maybe they weren't shooting him. I don't know. But anyway, I'd love to know how. Yeah, it kind of sounded like maybe they shot him at the end. Who knows? But honey, child, you can't be going up in people's airports acting a damn fool without knowing that there might actually be some repercussions. Same thing. You cannot go, folks, on a beach and, you know, rent a facility and then talk foolishness about you're not going to pay for it. There might be some repercussions for your actions. Now, I don't support, you guys know I don't support violence. Self-defense is a different story. I have said it numerous times on this program. We don't support violence in any way, shape, or form, right? You get upset with people. The proper thing to do, just use your words. Do what I do, cuss them out. Don't box them down because now you're taking it to a different level. Okay? And you might end up in court like Miss Cayman. You don't do that. So I don't know. This poor beach vendor now trying to make a little dollar. He lost his cool. He might actually end up, you know, being before court for assaulting a man because the man didn't want to pay him. What a hot mess. Alejandro says, is that right to do? Investigate someone properly, Sandy. What are we talking about, Alejandro? Jonathan says most of the people want to park in the shade and they don't want to walk too far to the water. Laziness. Dean says, thank you, Sandy, for making Jamaica your choice to have a minute. Much appreciated. Perla says that we also have a turtle breeding beach. So with all the building going on, what will happen to breeding season? Alejandro says turtles are smarter than humans because if there's no beach, they relocate, although they don't forget where the beach is back where they are laying their eggs. Wayne says, don't get mad, get glad. Oh, Camaria says Jamaican politicians give the go-ahead for rich developers to dump thousands of eggs of sea turtles from a turtle nesting breeding site to build the Bahi Principles Hotel. So they're no different. They too are also greedy and licky. Real Deal said that the hotels want to say it's climate change in an effort to have government pay for the replenishment of the sand, move their dam walls, and they will see the beach replenished naturally. Well, when it comes to a question of payment, who decided to build where they built? They better find their own money to pay for it. And I don't know that replenishing of the beach is something that you actually want to do. Because like I said, Mother Nature will fix it again in another 100 years. We won't be here to talk about it. But, our children's children might remember a thing called Facebook and YouTube and might be able to look up the video. Jonathan says people don't like the change. They've been driving and parking there for years to go to the beach. Now all of a sudden they can't park there anymore. So now they feel a way about it. Well, like I said, if it's a situation, it seems like it is, where he's probably owned the beach for a very long time. Y'all just didn't know that. Right. And now they've leased it out to they've leased it out to a customer. Things will change. And that doesn't mean that you get to dictate to Dart what he can and can't do with his property. Just like I don't want Dart dictating to me what I can and can't do with my property. Perla says, I love to see different people coming to our shores. Sometimes I'm tired of looking at my locals I see on it every day. Woodrow Walton says the tourist swung first. So Woodrow sounds like he saw the incident. Oh my God. Well, if he swung first, Woodrow, then that is self-defense in my book. And if he get an assing, oh well. Something he can go back and say, boy, them Caymanians, they kind of faced it. They boxed me down after I tried to touch them. Jonathan says it's called dine and dash. Yeah, some people like to do that kind of foolishness. Crooks everywhere. All right. Thank you very, very much for your comments. Fighting. Alejandro says, who is fighting with for what? These people don't want to shoot him. I heard Mexico prison are pretty, That's for sure. It's misinformation, possible bias reason. It felt offensive. What felt offensive? Is that a piece of glass? I thought that was, it looked like a knife. I'd have to watch it again, but no, man, that looked like a knife to me. That didn't look like no glass. Kamaria says, I saw a Jamaican head chip when he says, suck your mama part, jump out. Oh, mess. No, sir is right. Marshall says he's lucky they didn't shoot him on the spot. I agree. Because most of these people, they're not going to play with you. Darlene says they like to tell people about their mama as though they didn't come from a mama. It's supposed to be one of the things, I suppose, is supposed to insult you the most when you talk about people's mom. Oh, man, suck your mama. I'm like, okay, if you say so. A real deal says looks like a perfect candidate to be in Cayman next week. Woo! So no, somebody says it was broken glass from the window he shattered. What? Was that blood that was actually on the floor as well? I couldn't quite make out. I need to watch it again. Let me see. Shattered the glass and then it was long and still. Yo, this man is crazy.
Give him a passport. Give him a passport. Give him a passport. Wow. We're ready for passport. Let's talk with the woman now. I want to the brethren.
I'm ready for war. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that was a glass. No, sir. Hot mess. Some people embarrass you no matter where they go, honey child. All the way to Mexico and you acting the fool. But like they said, those Mexican jails are not pretty. Okay. Somebody says, morning. This is really bad about the burglary However, maybe they should get the dome cameras in the future so they can't be repositioned. And if the CPA stopped giving waivers for the setbacks on the beachfront development, then some of the beach would still be there. Well, even if it's not there, it wouldn't be, it'll just take back like Dunn's River. The beach is just taking back the river, and it's not a condo or a hotel that then they expect you to do something about. So, all right. Okay, so I think that's that. All right, so here is one more thing. Oh Lord, Miss Cayman has gone abroad. I want to wrap up this topic. Well, she's not even Miss Cayman. The first runner-up, Chloe Powery, is that her name? Has gone overseas to represent the Cayman Islands. And y'all were so salty. Y'all had people thinking that, oh God, Sandy don't like Tiffany. Well, actually, I don't like Tiffany. I'm going to be incredibly honest with you. I don't know Tiffany, but what I've seen of her, I don't like her. Let me be these like one of these Christians now. Let's separate the person from the act. So let me not say that I don't like Tiffany. I don't like the things that she does, which is who she is, right? So the girl clearly has some problems, yes, that she should be getting professional help for. And instead, she's talking about she got a brain tumor. She's innocent, blaming daddy drama, this, that, and the next thing. Take some accountability. You're 25 years old. We're not going to cuddle you like no little child no more. Take some accountability for your bad behavior. So anyway, she can't go off to represent Cayman. What a mess. She'd probably end up kicking somebody in the nuts. And, so Miss Cayman, wannabe first runner-up, what's her name? Chloe, is gone off to represent us. A question was asked months ago, how is this going to work with the sash that she's wearing? Well, lo and behold, they still got the girl at some airport. I don't know if it's Miami airport or where she was, wearing a sash that says first runner-up. That's the stupidest thing. What the hell's wrong with this committee? They couldn't get the girl a new sash. It just said Cayman Islands. Now, according to Latrice Haylock, who decided to commandeer our posts, posting all 12 times in a single post. I had to block her stupid behind child because she was really starting to get on my nerves. According to her, when she gets there during the competition, her sash will just say Cayman Islands. So why didn't y'all make her wear that beforehand? How stupid does it look that she is posing in an airport with fans and her sash says first runner-up? I'm not got no sense of it, that Miss Cayman Islands Universe Committee, I've really come to my own conclusions that y'all got less sense than Tiffany. If truth be known. Tiffany is the one who is hoodwinking y'all. So she is actually, I don't know if this is the, it's not Cayman Airport, that's for sure. So I don't know if this is the airport in Miami or whatever, but the girl is being interviewed and they're live streaming it. Look at this picture, right? They're live streaming it, they're recording it, and her sash says Miss Cayman Islands Universe first runner up. Why did you put the first runner up on there? Why? Just say Miss Cayman Islands Universe. That's because they're trying not to hurt Tiffany's feelings? It's her fault why she's not going anywhere. Nobody else is to blame. Now y'all making Tiffany look stupid. Oh, my Lord. Anyway, she's at some airport. It's in Vegas this year, I believe. There she is with her first runner-up sash, taking pictures that are going viral all over the place. Talking about she's the first runner-up. For all intents and purposes, right now, she is Miss Cayman Islands Universe. Okay. Tiffany is unable to serve. They should have stripped this woman of her title a long time ago. February can't come quick enough. Because when they finally strip her of that title, although they paid her $3,500 a month since she got the damn stipend, that's money wasted and down the drain because she has not even been able to work and earn the money. Lord, that's my belly growling, getting me vexed. Have it make sense. It don't make no sense to me. That's all I can tell you. But anyway, that's what it is. Court date soon come. Until then, I ain't got nothing more to say about this situation, except, by the way, if you want to watch the pageant, you better speak Espanol. Because this year, the Miss Universe pageant seems like they're going downhill. I'm really, really thinking that we need to stop wasting our money in the world of pageantry, especially with this Miss Universe pageant, because this is a complete waste of money. Yes. You can't even sit down now and watch this on TV. Take that. Unless you have Telemundo. And then you can watch it on Telemundo. So, ¿tú hablas español? You better go quick time learn a few words because you can watch the pageant in Spanish. Roku is streaming it. And for the benefit of Latrice, let me try to explain to her because she said, I don't understand, Sandy. Didn't she used to sell Roku? Now she's complaining about it. Latrice Haylock. Let me try to break it down for you and explain it to you. Because I do realize that your lack of comprehension in this particular topic, I can't speak about anything else, is not where it needs to be. The operative word is we used to sell Roku devices. If they were worth their salt, we would still be selling them, honey child. But they're not. And when it comes to my customers, I only give them the best of the best. What will meet their needs? And Roku not meeting it none at all. Okay? Every single app that's on that device, if you want to subscribe to it, you might be able to download the app for free. But to get any content, you have to pay an individual subscription fee. So be very, very clear. The fact that the Miss Universe pageant has decided to have this streaming on, and when they said the Roku channel, I was like, what do they mean by the Roku channel? Are we talking about the Roku device? And then on the Roku device, apparently Roku has their own app now as well. And does that come with a subscription? So you expect people to go out there and buy a Roku device to be able to watch Miss Cayman Islands and Miss Universe? That's the point that myself and other people, Latrice, were trying to make, is that makes zero sense. That's not a pageant that the world is going to be watching because, believe it or not, a lot of people have streaming devices and streaming boxes, and a lot of them do not have Roku. They have all sorts of different brands. So even my customers were like, oh, can we download this Roku app or service or whatever the heck it is? Because I don't even know what it is because I've not touched a Roku in over 5 years. That's limited technology. Are we going to be able to download that on the boxes that you sell? And I was like, to be honest, I don't even know. I would have to go and have a look. I mean, they're Android boxes. So there might be some similarities. You can get it on Telemundo. So like I said, if you don't mind watching it in a foreign language, you can certainly do that. Yeah. But this is a pageant that's in decline. Some new owner, he don't want to pay Fox and all these other people for the past 90 years. It's been on a major network. He don't want to pay that fee anymore. He doesn't want to pay, what's the guy who was hosting it? Oh Lord, what the hell his name is again? Steve Harvey. He don't want to pay Steve Harvey. So only God knows who's actually going to be even hosting it now. That sounds like a pageant that's on the decline. That's all I'm saying. And if that is the case, our Ministry of Tourism needs to ask themselves a really, really important question. Are we getting value for money? Oh, we're promoting the Cayman Islands and blah, blah, blah. Are we really, when nobody not even going to be watching this? Nobody's going to see it? Promoting it where? Somebody said Latrice entered several times and didn't win. Chat, please. She can take several seats. So, I don't know. This year, I think it's going to be a real flop. I don't know who's going to be watching it. Like I said, if you have access to Telemundo, you can certainly watch it there. I don't know. If y'all like pageantries, I guess you'll have to go to somebody's house and watch it. Who knows? So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. This is a decline for the Miss Universe pageant. But anyway, good luck to Chloe. We wish you the best. It'll be an experience that you will get to enjoy. And, although you're the first runner-up, enjoy it. Knock yourselves out, honey child. January the 14th is, it's in New Orleans, Louisiana. So it's going to be at the Hyatt Regency, which is the official hotel for the 71st Miss Universe competition. So good luck to Miss Cayman. First runner-up. Let me not, honey child. Remember now, Tiffany's actually technically still Miss Cayman. I've never seen anything like this in my life. But anyway, they're right that once the girls get there, they change sashes, and they only have a sash that says the country on it, based on the pictures that I'm seeing here from Miss Universe. Well, thank God for that, because we'd really look stupid with her walking around with a sash at the pageant that says first runner-up. But in the world of pageantry, they all know the story. All them girls. Is Miss Russia going to be there this year? We are in the same boat as the interviewer said as Miss Russia. That's the most controversial Miss Universe this year. Cayman Islands and Miss Russia. Can you imagine? One has invaded a sovereign nation, and the other one, we just stupid. And they clumped us together. Well, I guess we've earned it, honey chill. So I wish all of the ladies good luck. I saw that Tiffany once. Oh, she's so predictable. She is absolutely so predictable. So Miss Universe committee sent out a press release saying, "Oh, this young lady." So now that's trending. That's all over the world. She jumps up, has to put up a post about, "Oh, this was my gown that was custom made." Somebody pointed out it wasn't even a custom made gown because somebody else in another Caribbean competition wore it just a few months ago. So it was not custom made. It was just a different color. Yes, she looked good in it, whatever, but it wasn't custom made. And then she's all about, "Oh, look at me. It's all about me. And I'm like, your timing is suspicious at best. We are, folks, talking about Chloe now, not you, Tiffany. Your moment will come in early February the 9th when you get to hear the verdict. When Magistrate McFarland drops a bomb on you, we'll all be there. That'll be your crowning moment. You'll get to wear a new crown. Yes? So we need to just give you time to settle back and sit back in your little corner. But no, she's all about put the limelight back on me, which we will do. Because all of a sudden people are talking about Chloe and the Miss Universe. Oh, girl, go sit down. Shut up. Have nothing to say. It says more about you every single time you post something than if you were to just sit in the corner and be quiet. You're trying to steal one little moment of thunder from Chloe. By the way, Chloe looks good. I don't know Chloe. And I know some of y'all don't really care for her, but she looks good. I hope she does all right in the competition. I mean, I don't ever feel like any Miss Cayman because we're not paying somebody enough in their back pocket to really ever place. Although I shouldn't say that because to be quite frank and honest, Miss Teresa Pitgren got best legs. And what else did she get when she was in it? So she placed the highest ever in the national competition. But I don't know if we'll ever see those days again. And Teresa's smart, educated, had first-class marks. Now we're into dumbing down our pageant girls. No, sir. I don't know what to say. Lord Jehovah. But anyway, I wish them the best of luck. And we'll let y'all know who wins the pageant. And so, because you probably will get to see it. Happy New Year, Ozier. The pageants lost my attention when the LGBTQ plus got involved. No hate, but it's fair to say it's unfair to women, in my opinion. Are you trying to say that transgender women look better than real women? Jonathan says she looks better than Tiffany anyway. I give Chloe a 9 as far as looks. Kamani says me have to get one of my Spanish friends to tune in and translate for me in exchange for some curry chicken and dumplings. That's not a bad idea. Invite your Spanish friends over, have them translate, and just feed them. Yes, I like that, Kamaria. That's a good idea. Justin says a trade-off should be free use of the Marriott chairs and umbrellas if you're local with a Cayman ID, and you don't have to tip either. pretty sure the Marriott's not going to do that. Jonathan says, but nevertheless, I think Chloe's the best looking Miss Cayman to date. You do? Okay. Well, they say beauty's in the eye of the beholder, honey child. I mean, I think she has a nice body and everything, but I don't know about the best looking. I love this picture of her holding the flag. We've had some beautiful Miss Cayman, so I don't know, boy, you barking up the wrong tree there. But like I said, it's all in the eye of the beholder, and we wish her the best of luck. Big shout out to Kevin. Look at my little friend Kevin in this picture. Looking good. So Kevin's lost 30 pounds, by the way. Congratulations, Kevin. He must have heard about my 50 by 50 plan. He's been walking and exercising and taking off 30 pounds already. Looking good. Slim. Mm-hmm. You know, he's always a fashionista. Check out the shoes. On point. Yes, honey child. Mm-hmm. Looking good. Good luck, Chloe. I think you're doing the best you can with the current situation, I suppose. So we wish you the best of luck. By the way, I saw Kevin on Christmas Day. He stopped by, surprised me with a little visit. I was very, very happy to see him. Jonathan says, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Looking slim and trim. Yeah. Mess with Kev. Kev, now yeah. Kai looking nice and slim. Alejandro says, like my stepdad will say, don't leave no room for stinking thinking. Real Deal says, well, I heard Tiffany released a Christmas song remake, The Nutcracker. Oh my God, Real Deal. That is actually really funny. That is legit. That made me laugh out loud, as you can see. Soka says, even when Miss Universe was in Hollywood, Florida, I saw zero advertisements for it, and I lived 2 miles from where it was held. If I didn't know from news in Cayman that it was going on, I would have never known. Very obvious the owner is not paying a cent for any advertising. Yes, it's on the way down and out like Sears. No, not like Sears. I'm still looking for the Sears to go visit next time I go to Miami. One more visit, Sears. Just one more visit. That's all I need. So, because like it's on the out like Sears. DJ Yo-Yo's in the house. Regarding the Jamaican guy, he says, I hope he's ready for an unforgettable experience in a Mexico jail. He going for the real taco treatment. Talk about Scotch bonnet. Wait till he get the real Mexican chili sauce. Oh, geez, on peace. Going, what do you say? Going but suck your mama. You're going to see what that means in a Spanish country like Mexico. The real treatment. Lord have mercy. Lordy, what a mess. I don't even want to think about that too much, DJ Yo-Yo. Ay, caramba. Well, folks, that's what I got for you today. Okay, so Jonathan says she's the best looking in the past 15 years. I don't know. I have to think hard about it. But anyway, whatever. Good luck to her. We wish her well. And listen, at this point, I'm just glad that she's not beating anybody up. Her standards have dropped so low that I'm like, praise the Lord that, you know, somebody said, oh, you and Kevin have made up. Listen, has never been any animosity in my heart towards my very good friend. We obviously have a different of opinion about the Miss Cayman pageant and the committee and this last hot mess of a situation. I have not discussed it with him. He came to see us on Christmas Day. I was happy to see him. He looks good. He looks healthier. And for those of you, somebody said that poor Kevin was in the hospital and they're blaming it on me. Kevin was in the hospital even before the pageant. Unrelated to anything like this. Sometimes, you know, that's his personal business about why he was in there. But sometimes we just need to take control of our life, and he's done so. He's losing weight and he's looking good. Good for him. Don't y'all be mixing me up and blaming me for why somebody's in the hospital. It had nothing to do with the pageant, and it had nothing to do with me or anything else. I'm glad that he looks good, and I think he's on a healthier path now. And we all need to lose weight. Remember, now I got 50 pounds that I myself need to be dropping. That gym is calling my name. I gotta get in there. But anyway, I was very, very glad to see him. No hard feelings on my part at all. I'm not blocking anybody on my phone. I saw Anne Marie. Hey, Anne Marie English. Big shout out to Anne Marie. She's all upset because of an Oxtail post. Some of y'all get in your feelings, and I don't always understand it. She called me a narcissist because I shared her post about the cost of oxtail in where's she again? Foxborough. Where the hell's Foxborough? Massachusetts. And I'm just like, what about an oxtail post? After she said, she didn't want to share her picture because it wasn't even her name or anything. I said, okay, I just picked another oxtail picture about how expensive oxtail is. Some of y'all really get in your feelings about stuff. And you have to understand that although I speak about a lot of things, there are very few things that I'm going to get in my feelings about and that I'm going to give that type of energy to. So now she's all upset in her feelings. And she's like, oh, you're a narcissist like Tiffany. I'm like, okay, is that supposed to hurt my feelings? You see, it doesn't hurt your feelings when it doesn't actually apply to you. If somebody calls me a narcissist, I'm like, oh, I am? Okay, let me go look at the definition again. Let me look it up and see if I meet the criteria, because maybe I am. Oh my God. What if I'm a narcissist and I totally don't? Narcissistic personality disorder. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me have a look. Mental health condition in which people have unreasonably high sense of their own importance. Oh my God, is that me? Well, according to the Mayo Clinic, they need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. Actually, that really isn't me. I don't like people looking at me. I don't like people paying me no mind. I actually like to be in my own little corner, doing my own little thing. But anyway, let's keep reading. People with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others. I don't think that's me. I mean, I have learned in life not to take on people's feelings because, in fact, sometimes I take it on too much. Like I have the opposite problem where I'm too empathetic. And then I get drained from all the drama and the tears and the, oh my gosh, the stories of abuse that I can't get out of my head. And that's why I get so pissed off every time there's a rapist in court, because I feel the victim's pain when I sit there and listen to them. I have no sympathy for the perpetrators now, mind you. So I don't think that's, I mean, y'all can tell me if you think I'm a narcissist and then ask me if I actually care. But behind the mask of extreme confidence, they're not sure of their self-worth. They're easily upset by the slightest criticism. Not really, but okay. Narcissist personalities causes problems in many areas of their life, relationship, work, school, financial. Oh, Lord have mercy. They may be generally unhappy and disappointed when they're not given the special favors of admiration that they believe they deserve. No, that's not me. Y'all can ignore me all day long and I'd be like, thank you. They may find their relationships troubled and unfulfilling, and other people might not enjoy being around them. No, y'all love being around me. I mean, I don't know. I'm the one who's always getting requests for dates, like friends, like, let's go out, Sandy. And I'm like, oh, can I just stay home and eat chips in front of the TV? So treatment for narcissistic personality disorder centers around talk therapy. Oh God, we do a lot of that here though. Also called psychotherapy. It affects more males than females, and it often begins in the teens or early adulthood. Oh my gosh. Some children may show signs of narcissism, but it's often typical for their age, and it doesn't mean that they're going to develop narcissistic personality disorders. So people looking for special privileges and special treatment, not me. Unreasonably high sense of importance, not really. Require constant excessive admiration, no thanks. Expect to be recognized as superior even without achievements. Hell to the no. That's not me. I believe you earn your way in life and nobody should be patting you in the back and putting you in the pedestal when you haven't done anything. That's one of my biggest pet peeves with politicians and others. Oh, maybe a lot of them are narcissists. I don't know. Make achievements and talents seem bigger than they are. Nope. Preoccupied with fantasies about success, power, brilliance, beauty, or the perfect mate. Nope. believe they're superior to others and can only spend time with or be understood by equally special people. That sounds like Miss Cayman. But anyway, no, that's really not me. Nope. My friends are only special to me in my head. That's it. Be critical of and look down on people they feel not important. No, I'm in the trenches. I'm in the trenches with the little people every single day because I'm one of y'all and I get it. I understand it. Special favors. Nope. I'm going to stand in line, wait my turn. Even sometimes people, oh, Sandy, come. You don't have to wait in line. I'm like, that's okay. I'm all right. It's okay. Take advantage of others to get what they want. That's not me. I'm a giver. I'm not a take advantage of kind of person at all. Have an inability or unwillingness to recognize the needs and feelings of others. Like I tell you, I actually am very, very good. And this probably sounds narcissistic now that I'm saying it. But, you know, I've been told by others that I have a knack for recognizing people's needs and feelings, not the opposite. Be envious of others and believe others envy them. Nope. Some people aren't envious, but they show it and they say it. And that's how I can come to a certain conclusion. Oh, what a mess. Am I a narcissist? Oh, well, maybe I need to get some therapy for that if that's the case. I'll reach out to a therapist and see what they think. Jonathan says, yep, that sounds like you. Cheers, Jonathan. Moya says, aw, you just need to get her a good plate of oxtail and she'll be good. With some nice rice and beans and some plantain on the side. Yes, honey child. Duke Marin, hello, Duke. Says, I will sit on my Ross Beach. Where's Ross Beach? I don't know where Ross Beach is. I won't sit on here. Nobody will stop me. Okay. Alejandro says, it can rub off on people. It's contagious, Sandy. So be careful with your friends. Oh, like narcissist people rub off on you? Well, you know what they say. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Now I only got 5 friends. So Alejandro says, that's not you, Sandy. Well, I hope not. But, you know, we all have to be open to the possibility that we don't see ourselves as other people see us. So if Anne-Marie sees me as a narcissist, well, that's unfortunate. Because as I recall, the last time she needed help with a certain something situation, it was me that she reached out to, and I didn't even ask any questions. I was glad to help. That doesn't sound like a narcissist to me, but I'm just saying. Jonathan, he says, me with my sly eye emoji. Raising of the eyebrow. I see you, Jonathan. But they give you special treatment because they don't want no bad name in CMR, and you know it. Well, let me tell you something. I am tickled pink when I go places and people have no clue who I am, because then I get to see who they really are, you know, whether it's a restaurant or whatever. So I don't think that most people give me special treatment. I think that sometimes they're on their best behavior. Let me give you an example, Jonathan. When I went recently to immigration, work, now it's called, to submit a work permit, I didn't get any special treatment. I sat in the thing and they would tell me this is how the queue went. One of the supervisors walked by and said, hey, Sandy, I heard you were here. I was like, you did? I'm like, okay, I'm just submitting a work permit. Waited my turn, got up every 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, a couple seconds really, because the line was moving. They have you sit and then you kind of move. I haven't been there in a while. So anyway, when I was leaving, because apparently I was missing a few things, she's like, nope, you got to sign here and bring in that. And I was like, okay, no problem. Thank you very much. And I go to leave. One of the supervisors said to me, you need to come in here more often, because all of a sudden my workers are on their best behavior and they're really working hard right now because you're here, because they heard Sandy's in the house. So it's not really a question of like special treatment, but I think people are like, oh, shoot, let me adjust my attitude. Let me give better customer service or whatever, because Sandy's here and she might notice that we're slacking off, or, you know, so maybe it's a little bit of that. I didn't get any special treatment. I didn't get pushed in the front of the line. There was nothing, you know. And I am very keen on customer service. So I do make a lot of observations. Again, as a small business owner, customer service can make or break your business. And I saw a lot, even when I was on vacation, of really poor customer service, even in Jamaica, honey chill. Ooh, those customs officers. Oh, one of them had me cracking up though. She's like, oh, these people on their phone, we need a big sign. Come off your phone. Come off your blood clot phone because you're not paying attention. I just chuckled and pushed my little suitcase along, honey chill. I was like, everywhere in the world you go, something going on that makes you laugh. Anyway, folks, it's 2023. And thank you guys so much for tuning into the program. Y'all know I'm salty, right? I've said this. So what does salty mean? Tell me a bit. What does salty mean? What does salty mean? Salty means I don't really give a damn about a lot of what people think. I really don't. And so I will say things irrespective of who might get their feathers ruffled as a result of it, whether that's politicians or anybody else. Because to me, speaking the truth, and sometimes it's my truth and it's just my opinion, doesn't mean that I'm right. And it doesn't mean that you're not entitled to your truth and your opinion. We all are. But this is my show. So you guys call in and you share your opinion and I share mine. And it's an exchange, yes? And that's how we do it. And so, salty means I'm not going to always take my time to hold your feelings and make sure that I'm cuddling you, because I feel like we do too much of that in this world now. There is too much cuddling going on. I cuddle a 6-year-old a little bit, but even to her, some days I'm like, you having a bad day today? Go lie down until you can get over that bad moment and then come back to me. We're raising generations of people that are a little bit too soft. Anyway, this person says, you're not salty. What did this person say? No, you're not salty. You just have no pamper filter. People are a bunch of thin-skinned fools, says this other person. Oh, somebody sent me the one remaining Sears that is still open. Okay, I am going to, oh really? I'm going to go to that Sears. How does it look? Do they have sale prices on? What's the big deal? But no, I'm going. I am going. Somebody just messaged me, says, good morning, so-and-so. I don't want to tell you the connection. Thank you for my glasses. Aw, you're so welcome. That's so sweet. Yes, honey, chia. I consider myself salty because sometimes sometimes I'm going to just tell you something. You might not like how it's said. Anyway, court is back in session. Jonathan says, just like your opinion and weed, that's your opinion. Well, that opinion is based on a lot of facts there, Jonathan. You just don't like the facts. I'm just saying. Wayne in the house. Soka says not cuddle, it's coddle. But I mean cuddle, because literally that's what people, y'all are cuddling people. But she's saying the correct word is coddle with an O, not cuddle. No. Y'all are literally cuddling people, hugging them up and squeezing them up when they need to like go sit in the corner and be pushed away. Coral Gables is still open. I am so on it. Atlas, you missed the hot topics? Child, where you been? Go and hit that rewind button. All right, so we got news that's coming up. Don't forget now for the mornings. This person says that Sears is pretty good and they do have sales on. Okay, I'm gonna go get me some granny outfits next time I'm there. So in the mornings now, Kevin is doing the news, the CMR buzz, daily buzz at 6 o'clock in the morning so that you get it like fresh. Because sometimes at night, late at night, there's still stuff happening. And by the time he gets it ready for 9 o'clock, it's still a little bit early. So big shout out to Kevin Watler. And that's all I got for you today, I believe. Was that everything on our list of topics? I think we covered it all. Oh, quick note, Cayman Airways. We can quickly do this one. Cayman Airways has increased the baggage for the first 2 pieces. It was supposed to go into effect from January the 1st. That was originally what they were doing. Then I think they realized that it was a bit too close. And so now it's February the 1st. So your first 2 pieces of luggage is now going from $20 US to $25. Some of you feel particularly aggrieved about this. I am kind of like, It is what it is. The cost of everything is going up. At the end of the day, Cayman Airways doesn't make a whole lot of money. I don't know if they're ever going to make any money. They are a national airline. Just everything around traveling in the air industry has changed. And so I'm just like, suck it up, buttercup. I used to love getting a blanket and a pillow. And then we had it was before COVID hit. There was something else. Was it mad cow disease or something? So they stopped providing those. I can't remember what disease it was. One of the norovirus things before COVID. And so then they no longer provided pillows and blankets. I'm sure that probably saved them a lot of money, child. Trying to buy pillows and wash them and disinfect them. That was nasty anyway. So it is what it is. Every airline practically has you pay for your accommodations and stuff. Your luggage now. So $5. I don't think it wasn't Ebola. Wayne, where the hell are you getting this from? It was not Ebola that changed the. So can help me out here. Why did they get rid of the blankets? It was the N1V1Z1 virus. It was definitely not Ebola. That I'm certain of. N1R1. I don't know. But anyway, yes, the norovirus or something. Swine flu. Someone said it was swine flu. Was it swine? It could be. I can't remember. Was it mad cow? Was it swine flu? So Southwest Airlines is being sued, speaking of the air industry, because of the whole mess during the storms last week or the week before that happened in the US. It was the storm of the century, by the way, some serious topics. Another person says it was AIDS. No. It wasn't AIDS, man. It was H1N1 swine flu. Yes, it was you can't get AIDS from a blanket unless you're doing something else with a blanket. I don't know. But no, it was definitely one of the viral things that you can catch from people. H1N1. That sounds about right. Swine flu. Yes. So bird flu, says Derek. Yeah. Was that the same thing as swine flu? SARS. H1N1? Could be. One of those things. Oh, God. We've had so many of them now. Anyway, so, I'm not too bothered about Cayman Airways charging an extra $5. One of these days, it's going to be $50 a bag or something ridiculous. We had it good for a really long time. For a really long time, we didn't have to pay for baggage. And you got 2 pieces at 55 pounds, which, by the way, not for nothing, but 55 pounds is still the industry leader. Because, I'm going to be traveling in American soon because I ain't got no choice. Because, Cayman Airways is still my first choice. And they're at 50 pounds. But I think American they give you the first baggage for free. So you get 1 carry-on and 1 checked baggage, maximum 50 pounds per person. And then you pay additional after that. So, wow, American still gives you one bag. Okay. Now, when y'all go shopping, 1 bag, nothing for Cayman on a plane, honey chill. Y'all be coming back with like 20 bags. And myself included. So, I don't know. Cayman Airways, y'all will be all right. Just, what really bothers me about Cayman Airways is not the bag. Listen, I'll pay for the bags, whatever. Y'all need some more Caymanians at the ticket counters, particularly in Miami. I don't know what's going on in Tampa, but I'm getting to Tampa this year. I want to see some Caymanian faces at my national airline. Is that too much to ask? Y'all outsourcing everything, and these people don't have a clue who you be outsourcing it to. Somebody was telling me that one person was 1 pound over, and they were going to charge her the excess baggage fee. I was like, you see, a Caymanian wouldn't do that, A Caymanian would be like, honey child, shake that suitcase up a little bit and redistribute that weight and make that 1 pound disappear. Because sometimes you do that and it happens. Or they would say, take something out. One little item, one little piece of clothing can be like, oh gosh, that was a pound. Y'all know the art of rolling? I've been having to do that lately. Rolled your clothes. You take up less space in your suitcase. You can fit so much more stuff. So that would be my only wish with Cayman Airways. If we're going to pay for the national airline, either way, we're going to pay for it. I don't have any issues paying for my little baggage. Okay? Cayman Airways needs the money. Fine. Make sure that is going in the pockets of Caymanians. Hire them to work in Miami, in Tampa. Where else we go? In LA? We got any Caymanians in LA? I mean, at the end of the day, find some Caymanians there who might need a little job. Students and stuff like that. Struggling actors and actresses in LA. Yeah, honey child. So this person says, American does not give you the first bag free. I just flew them to San Diego. It was $30 for the first bag and $40 for the second bag at $50 max per bag. Lord Jesus. Well, there goes my hopes that I was going to get a little bag for free. Anyway, all right. Well, I guess I'll be paying $30 instead of the $25 that Cayman Airways is charging. You see what I'm saying? Cayman Airways, in terms of the industry, yeah, somebody else says, no, American Airlines charges for one bag. I traveled last month. No, sir. Let's stick in with Cayman Airways. Seriously. What a mess. Anyway, at certain destinations, I can't do any better with. You have to fly another airline at times, and it is what it is. But if I can take my national carrier, I'm all here for it. Good morning. Hey, Louie, where have you been? Happy New Year. We miss you. How's Detroit? Oh my God. How was the weather the other day? Oh, y'all were snowed in. Jonathan says, what? Not just construction. He's talking about people need time to relax by smoking weed. He's on the weed conversation again. And he says, not just construction, all fields, hospitality, cooks, accountants. You know, one thing, Jonathan, I think you need to go to Miami. You need to go to Jamaica, actually, because the one thing is, everywhere I went, the scent of the weed and the smoking was really getting to me, because I actually have allergies when it comes to any kind of smoke, not just marijuana smoke, but marijuana smoke smells disgusting. And so I do have a legit reason why I don't surround myself with any kind of smoking environment. And everywhere I go, it's like, oh God, what is that petri smell? What's the word? What's the word? Is it petri dish? It's not a very nice smell, Jonathan. I mean, say what you want to say about the weed, the herb, whatever, but it smells disgusting. And at a public beach, there's one woman there. She don't look like she should be smoking nothing, honey child. I was like, smoking not gonna be good for your heart when your thighs are that big. Let me just give you the truth, the lowdown on it. But anyway, she was puffing. I was like, not around my daughter. My child is right here. I don't want her inhaling your nasty smoke. Can you? Oh God. But anyway, Jonathan, I can get you a ticket to Jamaica, so you can just go smoke all the pot that you want. Speaking of which, they actually have a pot house. Oh, Jonathan, I got this for you. Hold on. I was thinking about you. See, a narcissist wouldn't have been thinking about you. I was thinking about you when I took this picture. Hold on. Hold on now. Hold on. I was thinking about you. So there's a place in Kingston that it's called, oh shoot, hold on. Let me find the picture now. Oh, my little dumpling puppy. I told you guys I'm getting a puppy. She is black and white. We got to pick a name for her. We've been thinking hard about some names. She's going to be in Jamaica still for a little while. Oh, she's so cute. There was one that kind of looked more like Coco, like the white, the lighter color. But I don't want, listen, you can never replace a dog. And I don't want to get a dog that looks just like Coco. Okay, hold on. I'm going to get you this picture and show you this one, because I think you're going to love this. Somebody else just said, hey to Louie. They said, what's going on, Louie? We miss you. Okay, so this place is called, I think it's Oja is how it's pronounced. I'm not really 100% sure on the pronunciation of the name. But they actually have, it's Oja Herb House. Hold on now, Jonathan. I'm giving you some leads. So when you go to Jamrock. You can go and smoke some pot. They actually have a drive-through. I was like, OMG, I got to take a picture of this place because Jonathan is going to love it. Look here, Jonathan. Look at me thinking about you on my holiday. Yes. So you can go there and smoke all the pot you want, I guess. I mean, I don't think there's any limit. And then you see the little sign at the front. It actually says, that little sign there, it says cannabis drive-through. Uh-huh. Yes, honey child. You want their phone number? I think we can enlarge it and give you the phone number. But they actually have a drive-through where you can get a huff and a puff. Huh, what a mess. Anyway, Jonathan, that's your little prize. That's just for you. Soka confirms it was swine flu. CDC made airlines remove pillows and blankets. You see, it wasn't even a Cayman Airways decision. Louis says Amazon peak was keeping me busy. Actually, not a bad winter so far in my area. Are you working for Amazon, Louis? You in which department? Yes, Soka. You missed yesterday's show or what? I made an announcement yesterday that we're going to be expanding our family and getting a new family member. I know some of y'all automatically think, oh, Sandy's pregnant again. No, we're getting a new puppy. And so part of what I was doing in Jamaica was getting together my links and my resources and trying to decide which one and the whole 9 yards. It's not as cheap as it used to be now, honey child. There's lots of procedures and stuff in place. But yes, I was looking at a litter and picking from pictures. And then my brother-in-law is going to go and collect her this weekend and then take her to a facility that's going to board her and try to like train her. She can't go outside until she's had like all her shots and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, she's 6 weeks old now. Got her first shots already. So cute. I'm so excited. It's been over 2 years. And at some point, you know, you never get over the loss of someone or something. I consider a dog as someone that you really, really love, but you've got to move on. And I don't believe in moving on too quickly. So right away, people are like, oh, you want another dog? I get a dog for it. I'm like, no. I need to grieve and I need to miss the pitter patters. I need to miss having a dog at my foot at 1 o'clock in the morning because Child Coco was not leaving. She's like, oh, you're going to work all night? I'm here with you. And she just come and just lie by your foot and be by your side. Dogs are just so wonderful. I'm telling you. Y'all need to treat them better. Somebody sent me a video yesterday. I can't even share the video. Well, first of all, they were really cursing in the video because they're really upset. But somebody had looked like somebody had discarded, actually killed a dog down in West Bay and discarded the dog. And this person took a video of it and they were very upset and cussing and carrying on. And they're like, if you don't want a dog, just take it to the Humane Society. You don't have to do things like this. Y'all, some of y'all just wicked to rafts. Honestly. Jonathan says he'll gladly take a ticket to Jamaica. She said she missed that part. Yes, so we're excited. And Gigi's been thinking about names, but she's picking like Biscuit and all kind of something like, we'll see. We'll think about it. No decisions yet. How did you come upon this one? Well, this one's not as exciting as the whole Coco story, but no, I've just decided. And my brother-in-law, he's in the animal. His side hustle is he's in the animal world. So he has birds, a lot of birds, and he has parrots and pigeons, and he raises birds. And he's like, his daily routine is feeding the birds, like the babies, and he's got some rabbits and all sorts of stuff. He's like a farmhouse. And so he put me in contact with one of his contacts that she deals with exports and stuff like that. So she's assisting me in getting in contact with some people who have a litter. And so, yes, we've identified one. There's another one that I was going to go with. And then that person just had really bad customer service. So she said she just wasn't feeling the vibe from them. And I said, you know what? Trust the feeling. Because when you're paying money for things to be handled properly, you want it to be handled properly. You don't want any mix up and confusion. And so yes, we've identified the one. It was a litter of five. 3 females and 3 females and 2 males. And so I said to my husband, I said, what would you prefer? I'm not particular about male versus female, to be honest, believe it or not. I've had both and I'm just like, you know. And so he was like, I like bitches. Get a female. To know Marlon is to love Marlon. He is just so funny. I thought he might need another male around the house to kind of help him out a little bit. But he's like, nope, get me a female. I was like, okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. So we will have another female. And I don't know what Gigi knows about male or female, but she's like, yes, get a female. And I was like, okay. If you say so, honey chill. So it's a little girl. I want to see if I can show y'all a picture. But we got a long ways to go before they get here because there's all sorts of shots and this and that. And I think now, like rabies, I need to contact Department of what are they called? DOA, Department of Agriculture. Because I think things have changed since I've actually brought in a dog. So it's a whole other vibe. All right. So thanks very much. Oreo is a nice name. Yeah, but there's always Oreos. Like I feel like Oreo is a very common name for a black and white dog. Everybody wants to name a black and white dog Oreo. I'm looking for originality. Maybe we should have a dog naming contest on the show. All right. So here's your morning news. Thank you guys so much. Look at the time already. I have some serious work to do. Didn't do much while I was away. So now I got a list of things that I need to get done. So I doubt I'm going to move very far today from the computer. The new computer, been working pretty good. No issues so far. Although I noticed this morning something with the internet dropped. I'm going to have Marlon check his internet log to see what's going on there. It happened yesterday morning as well. So, but that's not the computer. That's actually the internet. So we shall keep an eye on that situation. And yeah. All right. Here's your news with Kevin Watler. You guys have a fantastic day. Don't forget, if you know who the people are in that video, send us their information, Mark or Mario and his thieving friend, and you could be $10,000 richer. Have a beautiful and blessed day.
Hello, I'm Kevin Watler, and this is your CMR Daily Buzz. Here's a summary of some of Cayman's latest headlines. The community is being urged to call 911 if illegal migrants are seen landing. A 24-year-old West Bay man was arrested and charged in relation to a shooting incident that took place on December 18th at the Marquis Plaza. Caymanians Vanessa Burke, Chad Powell Jr., and Alternatives Destiny Daly and Juan Pablo Valero have been selected as the Cayman Islands CARICOM Youth Ambassadors 2022 to 2024. Now for your CMR weather update. It's brought to you by WG Charters. Sunrise around 7, sunny to partly cloudy skies are expected, with the temperatures at 83 degrees Fahrenheit and the humidity at 71% like the forecast calls for. It will feel like it's in the low 90s. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour, and the sun sets at 6:01. At nighttime, the temperature falls to the mid to high 70s. Looking forward, there's an increased chance for some scattered thunderstorms this weekend. If you would like to know more on any of these stories, visit CaymanMallRoad.com or follow Cayman Mall Road on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. That's it for now on the Daily Buzz. Thank you for joining me. Please stay safe, and God bless.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels and visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.